Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Is it working? Is anybody here? What's going on? Where am I?
Where are you?
I fell into some kind of time loop. I don't know what's going on. Easy, Spreezy,
Why
Lemon
do we have
Squeezy's
more
here.
hair than Spreezy? Why do we
What?
have more hair than Spreezy?
So no,
This
no,
is
no,
ridiculous.
no show opening today. I don't know why. It just wouldn't play. It said no. It just said I'm not going to do it. It said Donald Trump's not the president and Kathleen Kennedy still is. That's not what I was told in 2017. And it said it's not going to play.
See what a failed Kenobi show did to our buddy Spreezy,
Oh no.
Jason. You know, so you
It
got your whole life to be bald. You got to do that
back,
now. Like,
back it up. Back it up. Kenobi didn't fail. It didn't fail. You just made that shit up.
You know what? That's the voice that Joby Harold hears every day in his head. All right.
Yeah. Joby Harold's like, yeah, man, I got like the most Disney Plus viewers pretty much ever. Like, I'm doing okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
he does like you, Jason.
Now I'm gonna go.
Just does not like you.
But what can we?
I can't hear Spreezy, man.
We can't hear you, Spreezy. You sound stupid right now.
Crank that volume up. You gotta crank it up.
Yeah. You sound like a total fucking idiot right now. God, like your show didn't start right. Like it just didn't start right or something. I don't know.
Well, everybody, welcome to the greatest Star Wars show's second cousins, best friends, college roommates.
Let's be honest. You're watching the third or fourth, maybe fifth or sixth best Star Wars show on the internet. You know, that's what we'll call it.
Maybe seventh. Well, possibly. we're below 13 for certain.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. So today there was actually like a lot of big news because we're like, oh, nothing's going to be going on. There's a writer's strike and Hollywood shut down. They're not going to do anything. But then a bunch of shit. Uh-oh. That didn't go well.
What happened?
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
That's cool because it messed up. It messed up bad. It messed up bad, guys. I don't know what's going to happen to me. Can you still hear me though?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, like, take over for a minute. Talk to Spreezy about his hopes and dreams because this shit don't make sense. Be right back. I'm going to restart my browser.
I know. Spreezy, you got more of a disguise going on now than Kenobi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? I fixed it. I fixed it. Look right here. I'm going in. How does that happen? How did that happen? That is magic. That is today. There is tomfoolery afoot. Okay. So anyway,
you gotta turn his microphone all the way up, Jason.
You know what? I think it's kind of cool if he's just like our little droid that goes like when he speaks. Like people love that in Star Wars. I thought maybe that would make us maybe the 4th to 5th best Star Wars show on the internet if we had that. All right, hold on. I'm going to see if I could amplify him. Yeah. All right. All right. Spreezy, say hello, Spreezy.
Hey guys.
All right, that's a little bit better, I think.
That's a little better. It's a little better.
We'll go with it.
I need a mic.
Yeah, you need a mic. You do. You need to do something about that mic. That'd be good. All right.
You get one of those little Mark Hamill comms, those little mics they got in the first movie they never use again. Those little cigarette lighter ones. Yeah, one of those ones. Yeah.
Get like a golden one. Did you ever see you probably never saw this, probably before your time. There was Thurston Moore. He did a cover. Sonic Youth did a cover of a Carpenter song, and he has this golden microphone, and he just sings into it. Yeah, and I'm like, Spreezy should get the golden Thurston Moore microphone. I think that would be.
I'll look into it.
I think that would definitely put us in the 4th best Star Wars internet podcasts on YouTube category. Maybe. Okay, so Bespin Bulletin did the article, of course, and poor guy, he was sourcing the trades, and the trades had shit wrong, and he went and started doing all this stuff, and then it was you know what I mean? Not his fault, but let's see if it'll load because the internet's broken today. I don't know why, Does anybody know? All right, so but Bestman got it fixed up before he had to get to leave. He couldn't be here today because nobody was planning for this today. But Disney announces new Star Wars movies will release in December 2025, 26, and 27. So now the title, I gotta tell them, is kind of off. But it's still right. I guess it's still right. So here we go. Let's go into the article. I think it's it might be a little bit wacky, but I think the reason I think it is wacky. The slate is wacky, but I also think there's caveats that change it from the historical reasons why it's bonkers. But if everything performs exactly as it did before, it's bonkers, and they're making a mistake. But I will also say, I think that in the current climate of Hollywood, we're not pre-pandemic right now. And everybody wants to pretend that we are and act like we are, and that movies are always going to perform how they did. And they may be like taking a super realistic approach that this cluster of people are going to the movies no matter what. And then we lost a lot of these other people as habits changed in the last 3 years, and that interruption in going to the movies. And I would not be surprised if that is playing into this schedule, because I can tell you 100% that pre-pandemic, this schedule would have been a fucking nightmare to them and not what they would have done. This was not what they were planning to do. So things have changed. They've learned something in their market analysis that is beyond us, I guess. I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, I'm in no way an expert at this shit. So Disney announces release dates for the 3 Star Wars movies. This is from bestmanbulletin.com. Listen to this corny bastard. It's a surprise to be sure, but most certainly a welcome one. Oh man, that's what they say in the Star Wars movies. All right, I love you, Bestman, but come on, you're trying to kill me here. Disney has released their updated movie slate, and it came with a couple of surprises for Star Wars fans. With the House of Mouse, oh, you son of a bitch, you went right to the fucking House of Mouse, you piece of shit. Announcing 3 release dates for various untitled Star Wars movies, including to do in 2026. Okay. So 2026, you're going to go.
The Roofs of Goofs better.
The Roofs of Goofs.
Under the Roof of Goofs, right? Fuck the
house.
The Roof of Goofs.
I've heard your claim, and as the judge, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think if you're one of those fucking hacks at the trades, like, I'm a hack at the trades, look at me, inside information given to me by PR people all the time. You think that they would have maybe said, you know what, I'm gonna come up with the Roof of Goofs. You would think, because they just do it all the time, House of Mouse. That's fucking stupid.
Jason, you fucking hate the trades. You hate the trades.
I do. They're not really. They're all a bunch of fucking trust fund babies. They are. They are.
If we could do Celebrity Deathmatch Tag Team, Jason and Jeff Snyder would team up against the trades. Right?
I would. I would tap in. I would. I would be like, you know what? You didn't know I was your ally, but here I am with the steel chair. You know what I mean? I'd be like, oh shit, they've teamed up. All right.
As long as I can go against Roka, that fucking bastard. I've paid so many super chats, I never got the name.
What do you want him to do though? What do you want him to do? You're like, who's gonna win the 3032 presidential election? And then they're like, I don't know.
Jason, you're meant to be on my side, Matt. You're meant to be.
I am on your side. No, I am on your side. But you when you ask like 40 questions and then it's like, who's going to be Batman? I'm just going to let you know, if he was going to be Batman, that probably would have been leading the show. Just throwing that one out there for you. But if you super chat me that money, I will fucking straight up lie to you. I will be like I'll be your lady of the night. I'll be like, oh yeah, baby, it's going to be Michael Keaton. He's back, baby, and he loves you. That's what I'll say. My
answer for who's going to be Batman is Crimson Dawn.
Oh shit!
Dawn's gonna be
yeah. Kira's back.
There's a lot of red in those. There's a lot of red in those movies, Jason. You've seen the posters; they're all red.
I'm gonna need Meg to super chat me on that one, and then I'll be like, "Oh yeah, Meg, Kira's back, and she's badder than ever." All right,
thank God.
But
I gotta go tweet.
yeah,
that.
no, I can't lie though. If somebody in here super chats me a really stupid question, I'll just take the money and say I don't know. I won't just ignore it though. I mean, you could at least get God damn it, Spree, like we do to you because we love you. But that's why we say God damn it, Spreezy. You know. All right, here we go. We've known Disney were aiming to release a Star Wars movie in December 2025 for years. It was announced back in 2020 with the belief being it was being held for the movie being directed by Thor Love and Thunder's Taika Waititi. However, a lot has changed within those 3 years, and it's widely been reported by the trades along with credible journalists that in December 2025 movie had been penciled in the untitled New Jedi Order movie, which is being written by Stephen Knight and from Peaky Blinders, following the departure of Damon Lindelof, because we lost him, and will be directed by Ms. Marvel's Charmin Obaid-Chinoy.
Should it be called Lindell Canceled?
I'm always going to say though, man, I mean, you should drop in her documentary so people check out her documentaries instead of Ms. Marvel, because your audience knows Ms. Marvel, but they already know that now. So now it's time to start promoting some of her works that are actually fucking good. All right. It's now he still likes Watchmen. It's now it seems that December 25 flick has suffered a 5-month delay, which is likely due to the ongoing Writers Guild of America strike, which is what we've been fucking saying for like weeks here, if not months actually, but weeks. We've been like, there's no way it's resolved, so there's no way this is gonna come out on time right now.
And Jason, if this every 3 months, if this strike goes on, these dates are all gonna shift again. Just so people know. You're right. I think that what we end up having is the first one just taken off the board entirely. I don't think the other ones change. I think the first one literally, or they move everything back by one, whichever. But yeah, that first one just won't fucking happen. That seems to be like that makes the most organizational logic, I would think. But but there's just so many assumptions that are still at play in this, and it has a lot to do with the fact that like the Rey movie was touted as being the first film. That's clearly what they want to come out the gate with. But anything that pushes back the first movie will also push back the Disney Plus shows, which will affect the film slate too, right? Potentially. They got a question for me. Jason, check your mic because it's doing a little scratchy thing. Just so you
know.
My
My mic is being scratchy.
Rob, have I seen the Spider-Verse? Yeah. I'll talk about that when we're done with this. But yeah, we did a whole review on the Spider-Verse the night it came out. Yeah, I love it.
All right.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah, Spider-Verse is my favorite non-indie movie of the year so far. Spider-Verse wins the summer. When I
say utilize the limits of animation, that's what I'm talking about. Not Bad Batch, Clone Wars, Rebels.
Yeah, no, there is. I watched it twice now. I went and saw it again. I loved it that much.
Have you seen The Flash? I saw The Flash tonight.
No, The Flash doesn't come out for
so
me.
Excited about that, Spreezy.
Until Thursday.
I've seen The Flash tonight. Whatever.
Hey, I don't sound like that. Come on, give me some credit.
Roka stole my money.
Roka.
He is the outlaw, to be fair. You know?
You know that. But I enjoyed it. It was nothing special, but yeah, we'll get into that later when you guys see that.
Yeah. Me and Rob are you seeing it Thursday, Rob, as well?
Thursday.
Yeah. So are we doing a show after the movie, or are we doing a show the next day for it?
Let's just ruin it for everybody. Fuck them.
Thursday
that night. Yeah.
All right. Fuck yeah. Eating with Keaton. Yeah. That's what the episode's going to be called, right?
Spoilers around here.
Jason, temper your expectations of Keaton. He's not in it much.
Yeah. I'm all in it for Keaton, and I'm hoping that the Flash may start a cult in the middle of it and like feed bullets to a baby. I don't know.
He's in like 20 minutes of Batman Returns. We're used to this, all right?
Yeah, and that 20 minutes has had us waiting for like 40 years. So
I'm just trying to give you a heads up, Rob. I'm just trying to look after you.
Don't worry, man. I'm a pro at this. I've been doing this 30-something years. All right. Like, they in the Keaton Batman movies, they promise you a Batman, and you get one, but it's pretty much everything else. It's Alexander Knox, it's Kim Basinger, it's Bob the Goon.
Oh, you're a Basinger guy? I'm a Basinger
blonde
guy.
chick who gets spray painted in her face. It's Penguin biting off noses. It's Catwoman eating birds.
Crazy.
You know? Yeah.
And yeah. So and Quentin, thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate that, dude.
Thanks,
and you're always welcome to hang out with us, man. Whenever you feel like it, come hang out with us. It'd be a good time. Okay, let me go back to the article because this is important. This feature film was formally announced at Star Wars Celebration in April, with Obaid Chinoy bringing out Daisy Ridley, who announced she was returning to the franchise and that she would be leading the new Jedi Order movie. Little else was known about the movie at this time, but in interviews around Celebration, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy revealed that Stephen Knight was due to turn in a draft by mid-May. However, the Writers Guild of America began a strike on May 1st, which prohibited Knight from working on the project until the strike was over, which currently does not have an end date in sight. Oh yeah, little caveat here too. Some of the directors aren't happy about that deal, by the way. They're like, we're supposed to be standing in solidarity with the writers, and don't know if it's just posturing or if it's like going to actually have an effect on that deal being accepted in the end, but it could. All right, it's unknown. Back to bestmanbulletin.com. It's unknown if Knight turned in a draft ahead of the strike start, but it's also been reported that Lucasfilm were hoping to begin production on the film in February 2024, with insider the Snyder reporting that Lucasfilm were hoping to begin casting for the film this coming August. Due to this delay, that all seems unlikely, and production will likely start much later in 2024, giving Knight and Lucasfilm more time to create a quality piece of work. So yeah, right there. I think he pretty much covered the bases. Sam thought the DGA strike ended, so the DGA came up with a tentative deal, but it never actually got rolling. And there's like a tentative deal on the table, but I'm not sure what the next step is. I'm not sure what the detractors, like what power they have, if any, in that fight. But I do think it's going to potentially complicate things. That's my point. There's potential complications here. And one side note before we move on. Indiana Jones is being shown to a lot of press right now, for the record too, because we're talking about the tradespeople, and which is some of it is tradespeople, and some of it, but that Cons audience gave it a really, really low score. It's rebounding, as did the Disney movie. What's the one? Elementals, some shit like that. Yeah, it was 50% or something, and then now it's closer to 80%. It went up that much now, but you do have your quote shills. I'm not a big fan of the whole shills concept.
Hey,
but you do. But you do have. I mean, no, there's people that just if anything is good, it means it was a shill. If something gets rated, they don't like it. It was the shills. Well, I'm going to say that yet the Cons audience has their heads up their ass. So they're like, I'm too fucking good for this shit. And then they're like, let's clap for 10 minutes for something we don't like. And then it comes out with a low score. But then on the other side, there are those critics who will give everything, oh my God, like me and Bestman were joking last night. Star Wars, The Battle for Endor, Syndull's a revelation. Wicket steals the scene. You know what I mean? And there are those guys. But
it's good capitalism, Jason.
Yeah.
Good capitalism. Someone say shill.
True.
I'm here for it.
Somebody says you're shilling it.
Shill out.
Okay. NBC, thank you for that for the data. We're going to assume that NBC has the correct data. And I believe that they do. Elemental was a 48%, and now it's 80%. So
Jason,
Cons, Disney. I've taken a lot of shill pills.
Shill pill.
Oh, and before we go on, the other night I had a dream that what's his name? Snyder, the other Snyder, the movie director Snyder, Zack Snyder, the Rebel Moon director, that Netflix. So I woke up in the middle of the night and I get like Netflix press emails, and I got one, and it was like the press kit for Rebel Moon. And then I dreamed that they were offering me a bunch of money to say it was better than all of the Disney Star Wars movies, because Snyder was like angry about not getting the Star Wars movie. And I was like, man, that's a lot of money. And then Bespin's like, he texts me and he's like, I got it too. And I'm like, oh shit. So how much until we sell out? we were like talking about it. I'm like, I don't think we can do it, because then forever we're gonna have said that like this is better than all of that, and then we can't do this anymore.
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Hey, Spreezy, I got a question. Did you shave your head because you went as Chris O'Donnell to the Flash premiere? Like, did you get the Robin outfit?
Are you Robin?
You know what, Rob?
cool...
Like, you make me feel like I'm losing my hair. My hair's totally good.
You just trimmed all the locks off. You went for the O'Donnell Robin look. You know,
I'm calling him
look, man.
I'm calling him Rockin' Robin. I don't know what he's on about. I think you look great, Spreezy.
Hating on me right now. No, I shave it for winter. I don't like it during the cold. I hate having a shower with long hair in winter.
It's
you
June.
Really want to know? Yeah,
it's June.
It's winter June. In Australia. Yeah.
Fucking Australia, man. All right, I know. I'm just fucking with you. Untitled. I'm never sure if you're in Australia or if you're in Greece. Because you get around. You get around.
I'll help you out. If you see this background that Rob hates, I'm in Australia. If you see the clear background, I'm in Greece. Yeah, this is
the audio stays the same, but the background changes.
He needs that golden microphone. He needs the golden Thurston Moore microphone.
He needs the Bob Barker, the thin mic, right?
Oh yeah. But then he'd take over the show and get me like spayed and neutered. All right, untitled Star Wars movie, December 18th, 2026. So our previous movie is supposed to be May 22nd, 2026. Now, once again, May 22nd, 2020, May, and then December. Okay, this is an inversion of the solo.
Did I say 2 in 1 year? Did I say 2 in 1 year?
But
didn't I say 2 in 1 year?
And I'm about to tell you, you sound fucking stupid, Rob. I wasn't gonna say it so mean.
Wait, hold on.
I wasn't gonna say so mean, but I'm gonna say you sound fucking stupid because
it's my movie 2 in 1 year.
I do think this one will likely make this release date. I do think that if there is enough time planned for the strike to play out entirely, I do think there's likely enough. Yeah. But
I'm gonna take them all out to Dave's Hot Chickens. We're gonna work it out.
Are you writing, Dave? Dave, are you still writing?
Oh no! I like to dictate. Know what I'm saying?
Are you directing? You're not supposed to be writing. You're supposed to be directing.
Oh no! It ain't writing if you just film your Legos doing all the scenes and stuff. Because it's little Legos.
That's fair.
Lego guys.
That's fair.
Spaceships.
But
all right.
Can't you say that there's an Avengers movie coming out in May 2026? One of them, I don't see an Avengers movie and a Star Wars movie coming out in the same month. It's just, why would Disney do that?
It's definitely strange. It's definitely but it to some extent there is going to be times when it's going to happen. Disney as a monopoly owns too much, and if they want to release their cape movies and their lightsaber movies and their blue cat movies, sometimes shit's going to get double teamed. It's just that month.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Avengers and Star Wars in the same month. That's crazy.
Yeah, I will say though, I mean, like, it's the summer right now, and I saw Spider-Verse twice, and I'm going to see Indiana Jones, and I'm going to see The Flash. You know what? I could do fucking 3 or 4 things in a month if I want to, because I'm a big boy now. So, I mean, to some extent, like, you don't want to be self-cannibalizing, but there does come a point where, like, when you get like 2 or 3 weeks away from each other, where if you were going to see it, you fucking saw it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But you thought they were going to learn, or movies were too close to one another. I'm like, no, they won't. They'll do whatever they got to do. They'll do whatever they got to do.
Well, we end up right here. The first one is, like I said, is like the inversion, right? May of 2026. and then we go to like December. So it's not exactly a Solo or a Last Jedi to Solo a Star Wars story, but then December 2026, and then this next one right here, when we get December of 2027, so we get the full year. So it's not exactly as bad as I thought it was at first. It's not great. That first part of them being close together is a bit much, in my opinion. I would think that you would want a full year apart from all of them. But here's the difference, Rob. I think the difference is Filoni's D. I think on the second one, they're going like so when you look at Solo, right? Here's my thinking. Mm-hmm. When you look at Solo, a Star Wars story, it was a new concept. I know it's an old character, but they're like, will you accept a new Han Solo and a new adventure when he's young, right? And it's so you are selling a new concept to people. It's not Harrison Ford, not old Han Solo. And this right here isn't selling a new concept. This is actually getting the Disney Plus audience to go to the theater. Is I think what their logic is. And I could see it. I think it might work. I don't think it's the worst experiment in the world. But would it be better if all of these were a year apart? Honestly, yeah, that would be ideal. But I think that's what they think the difference is here. Even though, like I said, it's an inversion, but it's also the Mando people are likely, as you've been saying for years, going to get up off their ass to go see a Mando movie in the theater. And I have a feeling that when that movie gets marketed, I think it's going to be marketed as a Mando movie. It's going to be marketed as a Luke Skywalker movie. It's going to be marketed as a Boba Fett movie. They're gonna market it from every fucking angle of every major character who they have in Ahsoka and so on.
In the same way that with the Avengers, you get an Iron Man poster, a Hulk poster, a Captain America poster, whatever.
Yeah.
The question is the Mando movie, is that a May thing or the December thing?
I think I've based off of what the trades were saying, we should think it's the second movie. And right now that is the second one was what? May? No, the first one's May, and it's December. So December.
And you have to realize that Mando usually comes out November, December, Boba Fett. So that's the same time that these shows usually come out. Apart from
they would have to, though, in that instance, they would, if there was one coming out in the same quarter, they would have to go like an October release on that. You can't release 8 episodes of a show. You can't release before a film and then assume that everybody is down to sit there and binge watch it or watch it like you need to give people time for it to connect on the film level with a mass general audience. So I don't think that'll happen personally. I think we're going to see this movie go into production. My prediction is the movie goes into production in Southern California, and the vast majority of the Southern California productions are then shut down for this movie. The TV shows literally kind of take a big break, because they're going to need all of the space. I would imagine. I mean, there's always a chance they film it at the same leisurely pace as the TV shows. Because when you get down to it, I mean, if you're filming 8 episodes of a show and you're only doing 2 hours of a movie, there's
everyone at IATC is like leisurely, motherfucker. 6 hours a day is 3 months. No, leisurely about it.
Yeah. Well, no, what I mean is, like I've been fighting with morons on the internet that the Acolyte filming over 8 months was more than enough time to film 8 fucking episodes of a show. And they're pretending that there's a conspiracy going on that front. It's just like, you're so fucking dumb. You fucking boggled my brain.
Is all this happening now because Lucas bought it back and he just wants to sell out Star Wars quick and get his money back? Right? Yeah. Well, what he wants to do is he wants to he secretly bought Star Wars back, right? Because he has so many bajillions, right? He has more bajillions than you guys know about. And then what he's going to do is he's going to crash it. So he's secretly controlling it like a puppet master. That way he could humiliate Kathleen Kennedy for what she did to his beloved Star Wars franchise.
Crazy.
How'd you know?
Because you told me, George. You told me.
Well, you know how you have a gold card or a platinum card? I have a flannel card.
Oh, really?
Buy whatever the hell I want. Yeah. I also get a 2-for-1 at hot dog on a stick. But
can I get a grant?
Will you take the shill pill? Will you?
Yeah, I'll take the shill pill. Yeah.
Only if you stop playing Fortnite.
I watch. Oh, fuck you, George. You know I love my Fortnite. I watched Batman last night, and every time I watch Batman now as an adult, and Knox gets a grant just for asking for it from Bruce Wayne, I'm very jealous. Like that's the part of the movie that makes me happy as a grown up. I'm like, he just got a grant for just being there. All right. Anyways, who knows for what? So
I don't know. Would it be great if he just left the movie at that point because he was rich?
Where'd he go? Oh, he's going to study bat mating calls in Africa. Oh, okay. But
the Wicker people.
He's going to study the Wicker people. Untitled Star Wars movie, December 18, 2026. So this is our second one, right?
Yeah.
Wait, is this
Mando movie?
Am I on the right one?
And then 2027.
Am I on the right one?
That's the Man's Gold movie.
Yeah, I got confused because there's not pictures to show dummy where he's at. All right, so December 18th, 2026. As previously reported, the Hollywood reported that the next film due to release after Rey Skywalker-led New Jedi Order flick was that from The Mandalorian executive producer Dave Filoni. At the time, the Hollywood Reporter believed that the Filoni-directed film, I like changing his words for no reason. I just felt like saying film instead of movie, which will act as a crossover event for various television series set during the time of The Mandalorian, was released 1 year later, December 2026. And that's the one where we were like, do they got their shit right? Because that's crazy. But yeah, at the time,
it's called Rise of the Respect.
At the time of Avatar 4 was penciled in for that release date, but Dr. James Cameron was quoted in an interview. This is one thing that me and Bespin have been harping on. Was quoted in an interview, and he told me about it, believing that the fourth entry in the Avatar franchise would hit cinemas in December 2027, not December 2026, which would free up the date for Filoni's movie.
Turns out you were both wrong.
No, we were both right. That
29.
No. Okay, I don't care about that date. It's James Cameron was wrong, but James Cameron saying that movie wasn't happening in the original slotted date he was the first person to break that. A Cameron scoop, if you will.
Maybe Cameron's just being like, you only get the movies if we survive global warming.
No,
maybe that's the move now, right? Like,
you know what happened? Cameron saw those fucking whales that are attacking those like ships now. You know those.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's inspired. He's totally changed the whole Avatar franchise with that.
But he already the orcas were inspired by seeing Way of the Water when the whale attacked the ship.
So, but now it's
Cameron
going
raised
off.
the bar.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for the super sticker, the 2med2 Star Wars Network. I appreciate it a lot. It means a lot that you support the channel, man. Thank you.
The expression, the eyes, they're so good.
I know the 21B.
Yeah.
Yeah, old 21B. I watched Empire Strikes Back for years, never really noticed that 21B actually spoke. I think it had to do with the original mix of the VHS for Empire. And now whenever he speaks, I feel like it's an added thing, even though it's not. All right. Anyways, all right. So James Cameron, blah, 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 blah. Due to the belief from the trades that the next film to release after the New Jedi Order movie was to be being helmed by Dave Filoni, it's a fair assumption that his project is likely taking up the December 2026 spot. The quote Mando
sentence.
He wrote a lot. He had to rewrite a lot. He had to rewrite a lot really quickly, and I think he's going to bang it out. To be honest with you,
honestly, he could play less Fortnite, Jason. You know, when he said he could be there in 30 minutes, dude? He could have made it 45.
Listen, I'm going to tell you what we're about. Okay, we're about Star Wars. We're about banging it out. We're about playing Fortnite.
We're about meeting
guys. I'm a scores man. Okay.
Scores man.
I'm the scores man. That's an old
I
Howard
like it when
Stern
they high
reference.
pitch them, like they build the pitch up. Scores man.
So, the Mandoverse flick is expected to shoot at the same studio in which The Mandalorian and the other series tied to it, Ahsoka, The Book of Boba Fett, etc., Manhattan Beach Studios, located in California. And I should say, I don't know if he's heard it. I'm assuming he has. I have heard that that the crew believes that is the case. The crew working on The Mandalorian and Ahsoka, and primarily I'm going to say the Ahsoka crew, believes that they are going to be on that film now. But I don't think anybody can promise anything. And so it's still a bit tentative. Like we could still find out, oh shit, it's filming in the UK. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, did you guys see that Andor article from the trades last night? Fucking Andor cost $250 million. Fucking hell. Remember in Burn It Down? They were talking about how Lucasfilm doesn't care about budgets. And I was like, yeah, to some extent. And I saw that and I was like, oh shit. Like
I suspect some of that was COVID gouging too.
Yeah. Well, it did. I got the impression from the quotes on that one that Lucasfilm was asking Gilroy to create a new lane for them, was the language used, and they were hoping that that the investment would lead to exponential growth. Pay for Mando season 1 by Mando, by Book of Boba Fett, you're just fucking filming on black backdrops going, recouping the cost. So maybe it was like that. I don't know. But anyways, we'll delve into that on a tomorrow or something. Manhattan Beach Studios is where they think that they're going to film it. What's the point? However, one thing I think that's important to note and might hint at the December 2026 flick being that of Filoni, is that this film would likely be in production at the time as the new Jedi Order film releasing in May of 2026. This means, is that still accurate? I don't know if that one's accurate. This means that that neither movie would have to fight for a studio space at Pinewood Studios, London, which is where the Rey Skywalker-led flick is due to film. The production of the December 2026 film would also likely cross over with the movie planned by December 2027 film, which again could be We got to go with our made up code names on these, because I'm just seeing December in numbers at this point. You know what I mean? It's not his fault, but it's like I can't even comprehend this shit at this point. Like there's just too much. Like December 2026, December 2025. It's just all we got to go with the fucking assumed code names. They really got to cut us a fucking favor here and just like give us the titles or tentative titles or working titles on these things. But anyways, so Manhattan Beach Studios, blah blah blah.
Mando,
it's also
and the latchbox of mystery, right?
Mm-hmm. I wish, Rob.
I wish of the Force.
Instead, right? It's going to be called like Rey Communion or something fucking stupid like that. Like they won't. I mean, the last little era of everything like Rogue One had a good name, then got a shitty subtitle, and then after that, everything that wasn't a Skywalker saga film, was like named after the character. Stupid. It's also worth remembering that the original THR report claimed that Filoni's flick was dependent on when The Mandalorian season 4 was filmed and released, along with a possible second season of Ahsoka, which has not been greenlit. And I'm not in the camp that we will see Ahsoka 2 before that film. I don't think that seems likely. And then now with this schedule that we're seeing here, I'm even less inclined to think that's the case. And with where the Ahsoka show series ends, I don't see why you would. But anyways,
today's the Batman Forever Day, Jason, because Kevin Smith says he got a copy of the Schumacher cut.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I don't know anything about the
Today's
Schumacher
the day.
cut.
That's why Spreezy's got the haircut, man. I knew it.
But are they gonna put it out, or is it just
I don't know. He says he's got a copy.
Yeah, because if Kevin Smith sees it, he's just gonna know he's seeing a Holy Grail, and he's gonna cream his jeans over it, and then he's gonna tell how good it is. But it's like I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean he's a nerd and he's going to get excited. He's a little excitable nerd. Just like I would. I'm not talking bad about Kevin Smith. I would probably feel the same way if I got to see like a rare cut of something. I'd be like, oh my god, But that's what is gonna happen.
The Darabont cut of Kingdom, right?
Darabont cut.
She must really cackling.
It is really cackling, huh?
Yeah.
What to do? All right. Well, here's what I'm gonna do, you guys. You guys talk amongst yourself. I'm gonna do a restart real quick because I think it's like. I think it's the computer being a dickhead. So I'm gonna do a restart and then we'll come back to it. But you tell everybody about the Schumacher cut. I'll be right back.
About the Schumacher cut, right.
Yeah, it's just me and you, huh?
Huh?
Just
me. You got a new background.
Yeah, I mean, you made me paranoid with my other background.
Is that the one you put on what, the Tinders, the Grinders, whatever those? The wall. I like the wall.
This one or that one?
Now you look better in that one. You're famous. You're a tennis player. You wore that one. All right. So what do we got here? Oh, look. Royal Fino says New Jedi Order, Heir to the Empire. Done. There's no way they use the title New Jedi Order because it sounds just like New World Order, which Captain America already had, and they had to change it to Brave New World. So that's not going to happen.
Correct.
So wouldn't get your hopes up about that one. I'm gonna be honest, Breezy. They all laughed at me when I said two movies, Star Wars movies in a year, right?
I know, Rob. I have you back. I'm supporting you. I know whatever you say is not always garbage, but you do like to ruffle the feathers.
Yeah, I like to ruffle your feathers. That's what I do. I ruffle the feathers. Hey, did you see the Star Wars Outlaws trailer yesterday?
Yeah, that was amazing, wasn't it?
Do you believe that's real footage, or you think that's
no.
doctored on a PC?
The movie won't come out for another 3 years. The game won't come out for another 3 years. Check this out. It's pretty cool.
I can't see nothing.
Oh,
it ain't doing it. No one can see it. It blocks you. Oh, you got the Keaton Batman. I can kind of see it. There we go. Hey. Oh, good. Nice.
Thank you. Yeah.
Did you win that prize at the cosplay thing yesterday?
Yeah. Remember how I bought a Boba Fett and then the shipping was $100 and it was the wrong one?
Yeah, I remember that.
Man, I've had the worst luck.
Yeah. But yeah, so we gotta have Azature on. He could tell us the truth, when it comes to the games. But I personally don't trust that. One, that footage was real, and then two, that they can possibly make an open world Star Wars game in 2 years. I just don't see how they can do it, right?
Remember a year ago we got that Eclipse trailer?
Yeah.
Eclipse. They were banging on the drums.
All CGI. Yeah. And then I didn't tell anyone, but I used to run backgrounds from that trailer behind me, right? The Eclipse trailer, and I just photoshopped in Pandoran dragons from Avatar, and no one knew the difference. No one spotted them. Yeah.
All right. So
it's Jack Smith.
Do you guys still hear it? Do you guys still hear it?
Nope. You're fuzzy.
So yeah, I think I was working on my acoustic record, and I think one of my mixing things I closed out didn't end right because when I tried to restart, it was it said the service. So it was trying to give me some cool some cool reverb or something. I don't know, but yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna go back to the article and think. The more I think about it, dude, the writer's strike will have to go on for over a year for this to get taken down. You could quote Stryker on that. Stryker has spoken. I do think it would take the strike going on for over a year. So I do think the industry, when it approaches that year, is going to buckle. Somebody's going to have to at that point. I mean, that's just those just have to move on without the guilds and just start hiring scabs from around the world. Never going to work with Americans again or something, which I don't think they would do. I don't think that is their plan. So can you guys see that? It's up on the screen for you? Okay, cool. All right. So Filoni's flake was dependent on the Mandalorian season 4 being filmed and released. Now, like, I'm guessing too. Mandalorian 4 is likely going to run parallel to Ahsoka second half. It could go Mando 3, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does that because I don't know how much. I think what they're going to do is they're going to have Mando discovering the Thrawn threat, and how do the Mandalorians perceive the threat from Thrawn. They'll probably add something into the backstory where like the Mandalorians and Thrawn have been enemies for years or some shit, and it's it's going to take us out or something, and then that way.
Do you think like the first one, 2 or 3 episodes, he'll be doing like bounty hunting, just him and Grogu, and then the bigger threat will come into play?
Yeah, that's been my reading of my guess. I mean, this isn't based off of anything. There's like they haven't filmed anything, so I've got nothing to go on. But when you end that last season, it's like it's a promise of we're going back to the old format, guys. But in reality, we know that they're not going back to the old format because Thrawn's coming back. Like we know that's happening. Like so, and he's hunting Imperials. So he's going to go out hunting Imperials as the Imperials are about to fucking become more powerful than they've been since the Empire fell. So I'm guessing we will get a couple of remember why you like the show kind of stuff, and then we'll get back into a meta narrative, if you will, at that point. And my hope is that if they're able to balance and juggle it better than they did the last time. I've rewatched that like season. I like it. I don't think it's the best way to handle that show for that audience, but that show technically has that audience. And I think that's why that season has to happen before that film, because this season is going to be the one that probably tees up for that movie.
Yeah, I like it when they spend a whole season to tee up something else. That's my favorite.
Well, I mean, that's fucking Star Wars. That's
why I watch, man.
That's everything. That's every Marvel movie,
like
every Star Wars movie.
I know it's a good plan. Just keep doing that.
I think you do. I think you actually do like it, Rob. I think you do. I think you kind of do, because everything is kind of.
Guy walks out of movies.
Just because you walked out on Sonic 2, Rob. Sonic 2.
No,
you don't get to own it from Sonic 2. You shouldn't have liked Sonic 1. That's the irony.
Walked out of the Turtles film, right?
I can't believe you walked out on Sonic 2 before it turned into Super Sonic. Like you missed the best part.
Yeah, and that's why I stayed till the end of fucking Transformers when I wanted to walk out, because everyone told me I missed the thing at the end, and I'm like, well, I missed the ending the last time. I'll stick, and it wasn't worth it. I should have walked out of fucking Transformers as well.
Well, you wanted to stay out. You wanted to walk out of it.
Transformers did do exactly what you and I wanted it to do, though. It did do it. It did do the thing we literally asked for.
Cure me of ever seeing a Transformers movie again. Thank you. Like
I pretty much was on that for. I haven't seen any of the. I didn't see Bumblebee.
I was too, but Unicron. They got me with the Unicron. All right. I thought maybe there'd be a chance this time. There wasn't.
Yeah. Transformers. I think if you watch it with a child, like your kid or something, it's fine. When you're just like watching it on a date and you're like, cool. Not a good idea.
I'm by myself. It wasn't fun. There's some other things I walked out of, but I cared so little I can't remember. Yeah.
You know what? We need to get Rob into like a Big Brother program, so he could like take some like inner city kid with him to the movies, and his kid will be like, "Hey man, I just want to watch a movie. Is it cool if I just like watch Transformers?" And he'd be like, "Here's why you're dumb." He's like, "Man, I just want a Big Brother. I just want a Big Brother, man."
That's Azatru.
Oh, poor Azatru. Oh, Azatru.
Me and Azatru have the same hairstyle now, so
yeah. We're gonna call that we'll call that the Azzy 5000. That's what the cut's called.
Can I just ask you, Rob, when did you really just not give a fuck about the movie, the Transformers movie? Like, what point did you stop caring? Like the middle.
At what point did I stop caring? Let's see. What point did I just give up? Mine
was when
really cared.
When the monkey robot talked to the other monkey robots at the start. I was like, this movie's so dumb.
That is goofy. But I'm like, that's a Transformers thing, so I'm not gonna knock that. Robots talking to robots.
No, but it was the like performance of the. It should have been an animated movie, is what I would say about that.
Let me tell you when it went down a notch. I know exactly when it first went down. I was like, oh no. And this is a minor thing, so I agree. I'm being nitpicky. But it's when the kid who's playing his Game Boy in 1994 says he can't get past Bowser, and the only game he could possibly be playing is Mario Land 2, which featured Wario, because Super Mario Land didn't have Bowser in it at all. And Super Mario Land 2 doesn't have Bowser. There's no Bowser on a Game Boy game.
Rob,
no Bowser on a Game Boy game.
Yeah, I know. That drives me crazy too. And do you remember back in the day when Nintendo Power used to have like that section in the back where they would talk about like Nintendo and pop culture, and it would show like Fred Savage, or not Fred Savage, but like fucking Jason Seaver or something playing fucking like Mario, and then it would like show it. It would like show it like in the back page. And then it would correct like what they did wrong sometimes. That's us.
I hear you. I know I'm being nitpicky, but then I could tell you, I go, oh fuck, why did they have to do? But when she's staring at the eagle and she can't get over this dumb molded eagle that don't look anything like any kind of like artifact, it looks like something you'd buy at a store. It's got like a Autobot logo built into it and shit. Like it's like I like what she's like. I
like what she's like. I'm a really good anthropologist. This must be aliens. It's like, well, that was your first assumption. Yeah. But once again, you are selling the concept of an anthropologist probably to a 9-year-old. So I get it. It's fine.
Right, but I'm completely out of it by the time they all fight at the museum. I'm not into it. Like I'm out,
So you're just sitting there for another hour and a half, just like waiting for the movie to be finished?
Jason told me the ending was good.
Okay.
And you told me the ending to Sonic 2 was good, so I figured this time I'll at least have something to complain about legitimately on the fucking show. Well, I sit through this fucking thing.
Two things.
Not good.
Two things. I didn't know what the ending was. I just said people are saying the ending is good. I didn't say it was good. I said people are saying it's good. And then I saw it, and I would say it was still the best part of the whole movie. that they were doing that. I still think that's like the coolest thing, but at the same time, it might be an empty gesture. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Shogun. Appreciate it. Does Lucasfilm have enough film crews to pump out 3 movies back to back and so soon? Yeah. So the thing is like when you get down to it, yes. The short answer is yes. Like
I can answer that. We like to sing "Pump Up the Jams." We go pump up the jams, pump up.
Dave, this is why we don't. This is why you're a director, not a producer.
I'm a director.
Only a producer in name. No. You don't know what you're doing, what you're talking about. You don't even think you know where you are, and the fact that you can't make up your little laser fights right now, it just has you going crazy. Like in the UK, the amount of people who work on films is pretty nuts. Like I know people who worked on I shouldn't say I know them, but I know of people who worked on Star Wars that are working on Wicked. I know people who worked on Star Wars that are working on Ghostbusters Firehouse. I know people who worked on like all of these different films that you'll be seeing like in the next like year or two. And they're always working. I mean, they're professionals. So those people are just going to end up going over to the Star Wars production, when they like start up. So Lucasfilm itself doesn't have like their own crew. That's not like a thing. Like they don't have like, oh, this is our roster of people like Lucasfilm employees who make the movies, as much as like it's contracted work for the actual production side. And then you have your Lucasfilm. What's that?
I actually walked out of Avatar, the 3D re-release, in one theater because it was too dark.
Okay.
And I demanded my money back because they were running it dark.
So officially, Rob will walk out.
Yeah.
Rob
on Avatar. You display that shit poorly. I'm not sitting there for that. You give my money back. I'm out of here.
Here's the big twist. I'm actually a time traveler, and in 3 years I will be born. I'm Rob's son, and he walked out on me. and I came back in time to try to connect with him on his level.
My mom did to me. It runs in the same. Ever since I wanted the Metroplex for Christmas, but Santa gave me an orphanage, right? Like that's what I. Yeah.
And thank you, Shogun, for the super chat again. It's also worth remembering that the original THR report claimed that Filoni's flick was dependent on when The Mandalorian Season 4 was filmed and released, along with the possible second season of Ahsoka. The Mandalorian Season 4 was due to begin filming in late September, with series creator Jon Favreau having already completed the scripts, but was delayed to an unknown time due to the WGA strike. It's likely that the season won't be delayed, or it's likely that the season won't be so far delayed that it impacts the crossover film, with my belief that being that The Mandalorian Season 4 will release within the first half of 2025. Excuse me. So, and like I said, I mostly agree with that. I think we will see if this next delay, if there's a huge delay on The Mandalorian, we're going to see it, because there won't be any Hollywood happening. Chris, your mic is picking up us a little bit. If you have headphones, go with the headphones. If you don't, just turn it down just a tad bit when you're not speaking. The last movie that Disney, so untitled Star Wars movie, December 17th, 2027. Okay. Yeah, this is the Mangold one. So we start in May of 2026. Then we go to December of 2026. And then we go to December 17th, 2027. So get your fucking Star Wars wallets out. And another thing I want to throw out here too, something to consider, is that licensees, oftentimes films are compromised to give the licensees either things to make, or the films don't compromise, and then the licensees aren't happy. I think with what they're doing right here, I'm not sure they're going to. I wonder if they will do. Remember how they would do stupid shit like, it's Wookiee Wednesday because episode 9's coming out, guys, and then they'd release a bunch of products. I'm thinking that they're going to go sort of with maybe they won't do that. Maybe they're just going to just keep dropping product out for all three of these films, capitalizing on the main things from them, on the actual things that will sell, as opposed to trying to give Kelly Marie Tran a jetpack or something. You know what I mean? Like on that front.
Jason, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
December 17th, 2027. Is that Mangold or is that Taika's film?
They call it a jetpack because guess who made it? Jason. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. In my opinion, that would be Mangold. In my opinion, it will be Mangold. And I think the difference with Taika and Mangold, and I'm not an expert on Mangold. I've only been following him really since the Indiana Jones gig,
Other than
but
the mustaches.
but my take on Mangold is he's likely to deliver the movie on time if he says he's going to do it. And he's likely to make the compromises that are needed. I know a little bit about what went on with Indy, the things that he would do to get it done, and the creative solutions he had to get it done. And so that's what makes me think that Taika can't be in this slate, because Taika hasn't turned in his draft. He's at a moment where he's trying to solve a structural issue, is what I would say, in linking the second to the third act, based off of what they both said. If you believe Kathleen Kennedy, her last little range of interviews here, I think she's been a little loosey-goosey with the facts, and we hang on the facts, and so she frustrates us lately. But anyways, I have a feeling that Taika's movie is not in that thing, and most likely Taika's movie, if based off of what they're doing right now, if Taika's movie is ready in the next year, then I would imagine it follows right after this.
Will Mangold's movie be called The Dawn of Crimson Dawn, Jason?
Oh, yeah, maybe. I mean, there's always there. I mean, and I don't think this is going to happen, but I mean, we should look. We're just analyzing what could happen, right? What if Filoni's movie's not even in this slate? What if Mangold is the second one, and that third one is saved for Taika, and the Filoni one's going to happen when it's ready, based off of the TV shows? Because when you look at it, Filoni one is the one everyone's like, that one's a given, and I think it is, but I also, I would all.
Swayze, he's bitter. He's bitter.
No.
He's talking about me.
No. It is going to happen. That like Dave Filoni's unlike all of these other motherfuckers. Dave Filoni's actually a Lucasfilm employee. Like he works at Lucasfilm. His movie, I think, will happen. But the difference here, is that we have the TV shows that are feeding into it. So if one thing happens, like one really good idea is like, oh, we could do this other show, and it ensures that this movie is a fucking hit. If we do that Luke Skywalker show, and Luke Skywalker is the one who does this thing,
Favreau can write that himself, and you can get that done by.
Favreau could write anything.
Yeah, he can write. Yeah,
he will write literally anything.
Yeah, he will. He will write. Anything.
He will do it.
Yeah,
and he'll get it done like in a day. Okay.
Yeah.
And he will never look at it again until they make it. But...
No. And he'll do interviews before they come out and go, they're all written.
I'm fucking done, you guys. Like I'm writing shit you guys can't even comprehend. That's how far ahead of you I am right now.
Right now he's at the Frank Frazetta pop-up museum with Robert Rodriguez because they're already done.
Oh, they're done.
Already shot. Boba Fett seasons 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah. It's like
nothing to do.
Like, yeah, I could direct this, but just put them in front of a fire and a black backdrop.
I could be at the picket line right now, solidarity, but I'm at the Frank Frazetta pop-up museum.
You know what? I'm bored with Boba Fett. Can we get Luke Skywalker now? That would be really... Yeah, let's get Luke Skywalker in. You know what? I think I just want to write like the end of The Mandalorian season 2 again. Like maybe like the start of Mandalorian season 3. And then we'll just do that in the book of Boba Fett. And then, you know what I think we should do? Have you ever seen that movie Quadrophenia? Have you ever, with Sting? He does Roxanne. And like we could get those motorcycles. And
Fab should take the Plo Koon series from Dave while he's shooting the movie. Just steal that from him. Put that shit out like right in the middle of it. Took your Plo Koon, bitch.
I can. You don't have to turn on. Oh no, that my Sting voice. You
don't have to turn on the red saber.
I didn't even put it together. My Sting voice is man.
Yeah.
Guess who's coming to dinner tonight?
It wasn't a good.
It's Sting, man. Just a white boy copying a white boy. What? The last movie that Disney. This is Best in Bulletin. The last movie. This show is not focused today. The last movie that
an hour to not get through one article.
We do what we want around here. That's why we're the 6th or 9th best Star Wars podcast on the internet.
That's why we get demonetized instantly.
Instantly. Because you know why? Fucking too dangerous for this.
Too dangerous.
Too dangerous. People call us the Two Live crew of Star Wars podcasting. They always have. The last movie that Disney has listed is that December 17th, 2027, which we're going to assume right now is the Mangold one. This date has been penciled in for a Star Wars movie since 2020, with the belief at the time being that it was for a Star Wars movie being produced by Kevin Feige, which is no longer in development. I think this date will be taken by one of the next 2 films I'm going to discuss. I'm not as confident with this date, but signs point me towards it being the long overdue film from Ho-Ho Rabbit's Taika Waititi. Oh no! Yeah, we need to do a Taika Santa fucking crossover for Ho-Ho Rabbit. Santa in a Nazi outfit. Oh no! Don't do it! As
a Republican, I can't watch it.
Hey, what's the difference? No, I'm kidding. I love you, Santa. You're not a Nazi.
Not my cup of tea, Jason.
Yeah. What Waititi began writing his untitled Star Wars movie in 2020, alongside with 1917's Krysty Wilson Cairns, and was originally due to release in December of 2025. However, that no longer seems to be the case, and recent comments from Kathleen Kennedy in April implied that Taika Waititi was now writing the project alone and simply needed a third act to complete his script. Waititi himself said that he's been working on his Star Wars movie pre-strike and was trying to figure out the middle part, likely the second act. And once again, I think they're talking about the same thing. I just think that I think that, like I said, it's a structural issue and it's not making the third act work from the second. That's probably what this is. He wants something to happen and the movie wants something else, and he hasn't accepted it yet as a writer.
So you'd
That's
say
probably
the second act would be the Death Star stuff in A New Hope, right?
yes.
And then the third act would be,
that's
attack on the Death Star. So he doesn't know how to get off the Death Star to get to the Rebel Moon to get back to the Death Star right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like how do they escape if the Empire could just blow the ship? We have to let them escape, right?
Yeah. Act 1, Jabba's palace. Act 2, the middle indoor. And then
we need the heroes to say they let us escape because it's all too easy, because everyone is thinking that was way too easy. Right?
All too easy. So the trades have also mentioned that Taika Waititi is hoping to begin shooting his Star Wars movie sometime next year, once he completes work on his next directorial effort, Clara on the Sun. Oh, one thing I want to add before I forget is I think there's a good chance if these movies come out and are just fucking making like serious money and Hollywood is returned and Star Wars is fucking on fire, there's a chance that they just fucking experiment with putting that Taika movie whenever it's ready to go into production somewhere in there. They just fucking see what happens. Because
what would be a good spot for that?
You know what the truth is though, like
February.
Well, you see, it's fine if you bring the movies in on a respectable budget. You know what I mean? Like Indiana Jones. I fucking love Indiana Jones. And I don't even, like I said, it doesn't matter to me if it really succeeds or if it fails, because I'm getting it. It's the last Ford one. That's what I was wanted. I'm happy. So I'm a winner. But I don't want it to like fail. I'm hoping it's good and it succeeds and it leads to more stuff of the things that I love, right? Like that's what I'm hoping. But when you make that movie cost what it cost, it was like over $300 million is what they're saying. It's very unlikely the movie is going to
seem cheap.
It will. No, that's actually no. They are in the same. They're in the same boat, because the indie movie is going to actually make them straight cash, whereas Andor made them theoretical bucks, and we know that
got
it
a
didn't.
Peabody out of it.
Peabody. Yeah, once again,
all too spreezy.
Peabodys don't give Bob Iger $30 million bonuses. You know what I mean? That's it make me happy, but
no, laying off 7,000 employees, dude. That's the real trick.
Yeah, they're just fucking theme park workers. That's of course facetious in case you're stupid or face blind. Anyways, the trades have also mentioned that Taika Waititi is hoping to begin shooting a Star Wars movie sometime next year, and blah blah blah. On paper, it seems like Taika Waititi's next film is in line following the New Jedi Order and Mandoverse films, but there is another. In April at Star Wars Celebration London, Lucasfilm, and he capitalized the F. What are you doing? What are you doing, you fucking noob? What is this, your first fucking rodeo, Bestman Bulletin? Okay. Announced that Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny's James Mangold will write and direct an untitled Star Wars movie. It was revealed by the writer-director that he was writing StarArs movie and Swamp Thing for DC Studios and Warner Brothers Discovery, with the expectation that both of those films would be released by 2028. The Login, that movie's called Login. The Login filmmaker, I guess it's about logging, is set to direct his. The Logan filmmaker is to direct his next film, a complete unknown, a Bob Dylan biopic, which I believe he wrote. I think we looked it up, and I think he wrote it too, in August. But principal photography on the production could be and likely will be delayed due to the ongoing Writers Guild of America strike. And that's the other question I actually have about that one. And maybe he knows something, but maybe he's being presumptuous. So I'm just going to suggest that movie may have already been written for some time. And I would say that so that might not be the problem. It might be the actual Directors Guild if it does strike in solidarity. They still strike anyways in solidarity with the writers, could happen. If it did, I would respect those directors quite a bit, but I don't think they'll do it. But I haven't heard anything about that movie being delayed or not being written. So is it written? I don't know.
I don't know.
I just feel like if you're doing a Bob Dylan biopic, though, you could have written that at any point and had it in your back pocket for years. You know what I mean? Especially
he's shooting that right now, though. Like that's
is he filming it right now?
Yeah. Like, well, right now.
Well, no. In August,
he's
he's going to film it in August. Is what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm saying it could be written.
Yeah.
And Indiana Jones has been done for a long time. It's been done. They're not like working on that one up. Like he's been done for months. So
like
Flash. I would think he probably had, I'm going to guess 5 months to work on a script for that before the writer's strike. Maybe there's a chance, but anyways, once production is completed, okay, blah, 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 Writers Guild, if they strike complications might fuck it up is this point. Once production is completed, which if all goes to plan, filming could be completed by November. Jeff Snyder reports that Mangold will move on to writing his untitled Star Wars movie, which will follow the first ever Jedi and their discovery of the Force. However, it is unknown if Mangold will focus on the Star Wars movie once filming is complete or once post-production is complete. Either way, it seems, at least on paper, that Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi movie is the furthest away. So I respectfully disagree. I think Mangold's movie is going to be the third one, and Taika's is just a wild card. I think Taika's is let's get there and then see where we're at, and Taika and I also think that if that's what they're doing, I think it's smart, because it means if all of a sudden fucking Mangold gets fucking Me Too'd or something, and his movie was about 95-year-old fucking Rey time traveling and starting the Jedi Order, and they're like, what the fuck is this? And Taika's just like right here, like, hey, I got my script done. And they're like, let's do it, man. What do you need? How much cocaine and chicks do you need to make this movie? And then they just put him on a plane, send him out to make it. So I wouldn't be surprised though if that movie is sort of like the pinch hitter or whatever you call it of the whole thing. If they need it, they pull it out, and I think they will pull. I think it will come out. Every single thing that I hear, like I understand the cynicism around that movie. Like I don't anybody who has it, I think it's fucking earned. But every single time with that one, it seems like they are devoted to making it. Like whatever the idea is so good and uniquely him that they're like, yeah, we want to make that one. Like we're going to do it. And the other thing is too, is, there were industry rumors that Patty Jenkins was a jerk, but was Patty Jenkins a jerk to Lucasfilm? Was Patty a jerk to the powers that be at Disney? And I don't really have anything on that. I've never heard that actually. And that's something that was like being passed around. I think Snyder heard as much about, and I think that, but I think that was about the superhero stuff. That was about the Zaslav side of things. And I honestly got to say, like, she might be an asshole. I don't know. I don't even care. She could be an asshole. She could be nice. I don't care. But she, left her Star Wars movie to go make their fucking movie, and then they fucking fired her again. She's not going to be like, you know what, Zazzy, and all that stuff, and everything's cool, and you guys are changing things, and that's fine. Like, I could see why she would be mad at that, but just going to throw it out there that it doesn't sound like the last words from Kathleen Kennedy. It didn't sound like we would be getting Rogue Squadron as a film, and that it was more likely that it could show up as a TV show or something at some point. It was more on the table, it sounded like, but everything that Kathleen Kennedy said in that month was like she was on a fucking bender, having a rock and roll time. Her and Taika. Taika's like, hey, come with us. Let's party, And because, I mean, basically, what did she say that we hung on from that time that meant anything at all? I kind of can't pull anything out of my ass right now. None of it's relevant. It's just she just yap, talking, saying things to get through the interview and the day or the event. And I think because the world won't accept, I don't know.
Yeah.
So you have to have an answer.
I'm a bit confused here, Jason and Rob, because if Mando starts filming in November, there's usually a 1-year turnaround for these TV shows to hit the screen.
Yeah.
So if it films in November, we should get it late next year.
Mm-hmm.
We got Acolyte early next year. What are we getting for 2025?
And we got Andor 2. We got Andor 2, Acolyte, yeah. Skeleton Crew, and then Mando 4 will film, and Mando 4 will likely capstone those right there. And at the moment,
2025. What are we looking at?
Well,
we've got 2024 covered.
Yeah, I right now, that's why I keep saying I don't know why they would release Skeleton Crew this year. I don't know why they would. I can't for the life of me figure out how that's in their best interest. I hope they do because I want everything now.
Spring.
I want everything now. Like I'll watch it all, and when to make it all and release it to the same day for me, I'll do it all. I'll go on a
to 2025. I mean,
I could see spring of 2024 for Skeleton Crew and/or season 2 for winter of 2024, and Mando 4 for spring.
And Acolyte, when's Acolyte?
What?
Acolyte, when's that releasing?
Oh yeah, right, summer or
I guess. Yeah,
or they could push Andor and Mando to 2025. They just wanted to do 2 a year.
So Timothy says, I'm interested and I hope Acolyte is good. So that is something that I don't like doing. I don't like making like news things out of stupid shit. That, you know what I mean? Like that's actually just like stupid shit. But a source of mine knows somebody who's a hard ass and who has seen a few episodes of the opening of Acolyte, and they said it was very, very intriguing. And like, so once again, it doesn't mean it's going to stick the landing. Like sometimes you have a bunch of intrigue and then mystery box opens up and it's just like, guess what? We're living in different timelines. And you're like, what? You know, some people don't like that. But anyways, point being, it sounds like it's pretty well done so far. And what is that? Is that a gremlin?
That's Spreezy. It's gotta be. It's got the guilty grin.
Spreezy, are you opening up your applesauce? You trying to eat your applesauce during the show?
He's all, it's Mott's hour. Oh, General Mott's.
Put my charger in.
God. Oh yeah, that sounds terrible.
Sounds like a robot digging around his ear. You know what I mean? It's like
it sounds like the kind of noise somebody would make who tries to do a nice thing by sending you Vegemite. Spreezy a couple of years ago, he sent me like different like Vegemite like things. Like one was like a little squeeze with it. I'm like trying it on crackers. I'm like, you guys are fucking nuts. This is
Americans
terrible.
Americans eating Vegemite, Spreezy, is like when you see the Japanese try to drink root beer. You know,
do they hate root beer?
They can't. Yeah, they can't stand it.
They just can't. They can't do it.
It's a certain flavor profile that just defies belief.
Nerd Mafia says I was actually opening a can of Spam.
Yeah, with his ass. That's what it sounded like. You gotta get right in there and just grip it. Right.
Do you remember that movie with Tom Cruise and Elizabeth Shue and Michael Caine? I think it was Elizabeth Shue. Was it Elizabeth Shue?
Color of Money?
No, Cocktail. Remember Cocktail?
Cocktail.
Everybody remembers Cocktail.
Down to Kokomo.
Yeah, the fucking worst Beach Boys. That's not a Beach Boys song. I do not accept it as a real Beach Boys song. It's not. But that said, there's this joke in the movie, and it's like when Tom Cruise starts banging like the bad girl that isn't Elizabeth Shue, he has this like line about Spam to her. And like he's like, I love some spam in the fridge. I don't know what he says. I mean, it's probably like don't fuck it while I'm gone. I don't know what he says. But as a kid, I was like, what does that mean? Like I didn't know what it means. And so I went and I watched Cocktail like a couple of years ago because I wanted to like see that part so I could understand the joke from when I was a kid that I didn't comprehend, and then I missed it. And then just now when I thought of Spam, I thought of Cocktail, and I was
one
like,
of the perks of being a guy who worked on licensed T-shirts was
Mhm.
I worked on the Spam license exclusively for a year and a half.
yeah,
And they sent me to the Spam Museum in like Kansas. I was like, this is so dumb. Are they paying for this? Yeah, I gotta go. I got it. They were like, you don't have to go to the. I'm like, oh, I gotta go.
my old roommate was Hawaiian, and that dude was a fucking Spam like connoisseur. He would make Spam taste so good. I try to make Spam taste good.
Yeah, you can make
I can't
salt
do it.
taste good if you try hard enough, right, Jason?
No. Truly, no. If
nitrates and salt, just work that one out.
If a Hawaiian person tries to cook Spam for you, fucking go with it. If anybody else that you know tries to, just be like, yeah, it's just going to be a salty meat. But anyways, yeah. So if anybody has seen Cocktail and you know the what the joke was, you guys got to tell me. I think Peter knows. So Cocktail did it before American, except with Spam. Yeah, it was like Tom Cruise is really mad at her, and as a kid, I'm like, I think he's saying, don't put the Spam in your pussy. That's what I think when I'm like 8, and I'm like, is that what it meant? I don't know.
All I know is kids were trying to do the flipping thing with drinks, and they'd flip milk, and one kid flipped a soda 3 times and didn't know. Right? Everyone was trying to do the drink flipping thing. When
right.
In 5th grade. Yeah. He got this soda right in his face. It's hilarious.
Yeah. By the way, that same roommate one time was like dating this like this person who was kinky, and he was like, oh, he was like trying to keep up. He's having a hard time keeping up with her kinks, and she wanted him to be creative, and he put Pop Rocks, not Spam. He put Pop Rocks in her, and it nearly killed her. Do not put Pop Rocks in your orifices unless it's your mouth.
Jesus.
Don't do it.
But how do you know? Show us the receipts, Jason.
I mean, how
do you really know?
Or do you know? Don't put too much. How do you know? I'm gonna guess. I think though. I think I put a couple Pop Rocks and was like, "This is fun. Let's get a yeast infection."
Until you reveal your sources, I can't confirm that's true.
Hey, it's a true story. When I say it almost killed her, I mean she had a bad time, not like she was in the hospital dying of fucking exploded vagina from Pop Rocks. But hey,
I once snorted Fun Dip on the set of a More American Graffiti, and it really hurt. I'm a diabetic.
The story is George snorted Fun Dip, and that's when he wrote the first Alon Sleaze Pagano film. It's a drug trafficking movie set in the Star Wars universe. And then he couldn't get to the third act. He's having an old type of problem.
Marty. I can be like Marty. I told Marsha I can be like Marty. I can party.
And then you just have
some Smarties. I said crush up some Smarties like Marty, and I partied. Yeah.
Smarty McFly. All right, Smarty McFly.
That's the dumbest joke ever.
That's
ridiculous.
I like it. Okay, so let's hear Bestman's closing thoughts. This is like his Jerry Springer thing where he does all the bad stuff and then says like just love each other at the end.
Right?
Remember that shit?
Hold on, I just see it. I've never watched a show, but I know what you're talking about. Like, because I'd go to turn to watch a show and it would still be running the end of it. So only part of Jerry Springer I ever see is when he stops, and he'd hold the mic with like his hand, he'd cup it. Yeah, right? And he'd like put his. This is Bestman cupping the mic here. All right.
I still laugh at the fact that fucking Jerry Springer is a politician. And he's fucking writing checks to sex workers at massage parlors. And the checks bounced. And they went up on the wall. They went up on the wall of like, don't cash Jerry Springer's checks. They will bounce. And then the place gets raided. And then that's how the
could have been
feds...
president, right, Jason? Could have been president.
Honestly, at this point, I would take him over a certain someone else. I think he would have been a better president. He was actually didn't actually have like the worst policies, honestly. But strangely, but he was a maniac. So anyways, so this is Bestman Bulletin. Okay, so let's hear his Jerry Springer thing where he goes at the end. As a Star Wars fan, I am ecstatic that Lucasfilm and Disney are planning to release 3 brand new Star Wars movies within the next 4 years. But I've been burned before. I think the new Jedi Order and Mando flicks will come to fruition, even if they get delayed due to the WGA strike or for other reasons. They seem like the safest bets from a creative and business standpoint. However, I am dubious in regards to the films being created by Taika Waititi and James Mangold. Mangold got indie made, bro. Come on. Okay. Anyways, I'll let him go on. I truly want to see them make it onto the big screen. I'm a big fan of both filmmakers, but I think we've all been burned by Lucasfilm, lowercase f. I appreciate that, Bespin, and their planned Star Wars movies enough to look at the situation with some cynicism. I also find it quite surprising that Lucasfilm and Disney once again look to replicate the release pattern of Star Wars: The Last Jedi and Solo Star Wars Story, releasing 2 Star Wars movies in the same year. Solo was a commercial failure, making under $400 million on a budget of $200 million. It likely lost Disney a pretty penny and is regarded as a mistake by the company, particularly by CEO Bob Iger, who took ownership of the release date mistake and affirmed it was his decision to release Solo in May of 2018, despite Kathleen Kennedy, because it's a con, get it? It's pleased to delay it to December 2018, giving Solo a gap of 1 year from The Last Jedi. And so it is inverted. So there's a little bit more months there. So it's not as stupid, but it is as risky. I agree with you. So Solo's failure can't be pinpointed to just one mistake. There's a number of them. But releasing Solo just 5 months after the most divisive Star Wars movie possibly of all time, sandwiching it amongst heavy hitters such as Avengers Infinity War, Deadpool 3, and Incredibles 2, and not starting marketing for the film up until 3 months before the release all contributed to the film's downfall. A film that didn't have much interest to begin with, but Disney gave it the worst platform to succeed. It's why I'm shocked that Disney and Bob Iger are looking to replicate this release pattern. Yeah, that's what I was texting him that too. I was like, dude,
Deadpool 3 comes out next year anyway.
Okay, Deadpool 3 is as you excited, huh? Granted, history might not repeat itself, and viewers have a larger interest in The Mandalorian with the series surrounding it. So if the December 2026 flick is the Mandoverse crossover event, it could stand to perform well, and this possibly worry might be made mute. Agree. I agree with that general thing.
It took us 1.5 hours to read that article.
Yeah. We do what we want, you know. So yeah, I keep seeing this, by the way, and I have looked into it, and it is true. There is a filing so Blue Stockings made Acolyte, but what you to understand is that Blue Stockings filmed Acolyte, and Blue Stockings owes taxes. It's been put on a governmental website in the UK, going, "You owe us money. We're gonna seize your assets if you don't pay us the tax money." We're like, okay. So number one, a couple of things they could have paid those taxes and it went up anyway due to an error. The fact of the matter is Disney does not have a problem paying its fucking taxes, though. That's the thing to remember. Disney, they can pay their taxes. That's not an issue. So Kev goes on to say something is not right with the show. There are issues, and I'm not surprised. Kev, the show's fucking filmed, bro. It's done. The production company owing taxes after the show is filmed. I don't think Prince fucking Charles is gonna get on it with his fucking sausage fingers and go in there and take the film out of the canisters and take it back until they pay. Like that's a ridiculous idea. And so,
what do they find out about Francis Ford Coppola's taxes? Like,
yeah,
you know.
The truth is, I'm picking on you, Kev, because I've heard this several times, like very recently, and it's being made to concoct a conspiracy theory that lesbians can't fucking handle film production. At the end of the day, that's what it is. Leslie Headland is out to get you. She's out to erase George Lucas.
How'd the Russian doll get made?
Because it wasn't about cis white men. But that's what they're that is like.
How
that
did
is
the vagina monologue stay in production for years, Jason? Like,
yeah. No, but that is. I mean, that's like the subtext of all of those YouTubers that are doing those shows. And at the end of the day, Acolyte might be good, it might be bad, it might fucking be the best thing ever, it might be the worst thing ever. But all of the reasons that those people are propagating as to why it would fail or succeed are completely fucking fan fiction by fucking idiots that don't understand story, characters. They don't understand that Anakin Skywalker is the pathetic villain of Star Wars.
Jason, you're going way too deep on this. I like how a UK company doesn't pay its taxes and the whole thing's fucked. But in America, our companies don't have to pay taxes at all, and they're geniuses. Like our multi-trillion-dollar companies pay nothing. We pay the taxes. The companies don't pay shit. And I mean, that's just sound capitalism. Like
yeah, so the it's the normal types on YouTube that are spreading it, and like I saw Star Wars Theory got his panties in a twist over her saying that George Lucas, it doesn't matter anymore, and he doesn't, because he doesn't work at the company, he doesn't write stuff, he's fucking not in a place to do that stuff anymore, and like I did we did a whole show on this the other day about the myth of the auteur, and it plays into American individualism, where we like this cowboy idea that this one guy comes in named George fucking Lucas, and he just comes up with all of the ideas, and he's there, he's twisting the camera, and he's producing it. Fucking Gary Kurtz is shaving off his mustache, just watching him do it, and he's telling Carrie Fisher how to act, and it's just like in reality, like that's a myth, and we did a whole episode where we like fucking laid it out. And then the very first fucking comment is talking about how you don't have Tesla without Elon Musk. When there is not a better example anyone could have come up with than a different version of the auteur theory, that because Elon Musk isn't doing any of the fucking genius work. He's just paying some geniuses.
He raised the money.
Yeah, he had the money.
He made all the ideas and did all the work too.
Yeah, and to be clear, you can respect George Lucas as a manager, as a creative, and if you want to respect Elon Musk because it's your thing, go ahead. But you could do that if you want to too. I it's not none of my business. But the point being is that they are people who got shit done. They are people who
we all know Hideo Kojima made Metal Gear by himself.
It's just but art doesn't work like right now. I'm working on an acoustic record, okay, and nobody has seen. I think Rob's seen a track, maybe nobody's seen anything from it, and I'm the only one doing it. It's all me, just me, okay. So I'm the American individual right now who's doing that, right? Nobody's gonna care about my thing, but let's just pretend, okay. But at the end of the day, I'm going to end up sending it to Rob. I'm going to send it to like Spreezy, and Spreezy's going to be like, dude, you sound fucking stupid right here. This sounds bad. Your fucking lyric here is a fucking joke, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm going to change it. And then now, you know what? The myth of me being the auteur on this record, it needs to die there. I have now not done it by myself, but that happens a million times every day on a film production, in a million different ways. And so the idea, and so what Leslie Headland is saying is fucking 100% on. And that idea is used in Hollywood to prop up abusive behavior, people being assholes, people being told you need to work 36 hours or you're fired. And if you can't handle it, you just don't belong here. And it's just like, that's fucking crazy. And it doesn't make any sense. And Hollywood has the money. That's the other side of
I
all
love
of
the
that stuff
CEOs
too.
who are like, you have to work in an open office, and they get a nice office closed off from everybody. You know what I mean? Like at least the dudes who ran, what was it, Bethesda or BioWare, one of those fucking things. There was like these two doctors who found it. They didn't have an office. They actually worked in the hallways. Now I'm not saying it's great because they're still making millions of fucking dollars. So it's like, fuck you, when your average person still isn't making shit. But At least you work out with the fucking losers that you. I guess.
Right.
I guess.
Thank,
Schlubs.
thank you for the $5 super chat, Shogun, for the schlub. You're right about the auteur thing, Jason, but I think people's problem with Hedlund was how she said what she said. I don't know. Well, see, the thing about it is she said the Star Wars prequels exemplify this. And I'm sorry, but there is no reality I will accept. I'm not saying you're saying this, Shogun, but I would have to be a QAnon fucking idiot to be like, the Star Wars prequels came out and there were standing ovations and everybody said it was great and no one ever had a problem with the Star Wars prequels. It was not divisive whatsoever. But in that thing right there, George Lucas did not have the right answer for everybody because we're beyond it. Number one, there is no right answer for Star Wars anymore. It's too big now. When it's like a surprise thing and it's finding its audience, then you can please everybody. But once your audience, once you have guys that think the bad guy is the hero, and that Anakin's like the fucking hero of the thing, and kill them, get them kids, get them. Yeah. Mama said, don't let this fire go out. I ain't gonna let this fire go out. That's that kind of shit, Yeah. It's just, that's not you can't please all of us. It's literally impossible. And so I do think though that people that are like that, I consume that watch films that actually see movies that aren't just Star Wars and like actually watch them can go watch Andor and Mandalorian season 3 and be like, yeah, it's fucking cool. That was good science fiction. That was fucking a good Ray Harryhausen thing. Cool. I'm going to move on with my life now and watch the next fucking thing that they want to feed me. And that's fucking fine. But the idea that like Leslie Headland was going against George said the same thing, which is what he said the same thing to the Lost people. The guys who did Lost, and George Lucas at the same moment in 2007 admit that they are not participants in the auteur theory. That the myth does not pertain to them. They busted the myth in that moment in his own letter to them that they accepted and all chuckled and said yes. Like at that point,
George Lucas is defaming George Lucas.
And so when you have that. And you have the prequels, which I love the prequels for the record. I fucking love them. I would not. Yeah, he doesn't. Which once again proves Leslie Headland right. And like, I love it. He doesn't. And like, so what part of what Leslie Headland said is wrong? Because she's not wrong. She's not fucking wrong. She doesn't need to go around like her life trying to make sure that Star Wars theories, fragile feelings are okay. Because she's just said something that was true. Like that's a fucking insane idea. Or my feelings.
He has feelings made of peanut brittle at this point.
Or anybody's feelings. You know what I mean? Like, but the thing is when you take what she said and you add emphasis, then it adds like this fucking bitchy, cunty fucking vibe to it. And I don't think it was there. I honestly don't think it was there when she said those things.
You can't raise money to buy Lamborghinis by liking everything. All right. It's not how this works.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
It's not how this works.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I understand when somebody who's making something in the Star Wars universe seems to express the idea that they don't like something that you like. But here's the actual reality of it. Every single Star Wars thing that you are seeing right now, except for Dave Filoni, they didn't like it. They didn't like the prequels. They like Favreau respected it, but was a little bit like some of the shit is a bit wacky.
I don't much like his season 3 Mando. So
you can't always be a winner. Turns out,
but I love Zathura. I like his I love his Iron Man. I don't like his Cowboys and Aliens. I don't care for the Jungle Book. But I don't like his Lion King.
But that's but
like
the thing is
what does it all mean?
When it just cannot be denied that when a woman a gay woman says this stuff, it becomes big news. When Lindelof said worse and was on Star Wars, and it was never a news story. It was never dug up and used on a slow news day. Why?
But what about Becky from Sears? Like,
oh no, Cecilia. Cecilia from Sears. Yeah.
What about Cecilia? What does she think?
Yeah. Probably just like get me the fuck out of Alabama, you know?
Right. Right. All that I never forget a weak spot in the Death Star, Jason. You know what I'm saying? I never forget.
Okay. All right. Nerd Mafia says, kindly request to get Chewbacca impression. Signed, the Beskar boner. All right. All right. Here is my best Chewbacca. What do you think? What do you think? Was that pretty good? Does that sound like him? Does that sound like Peter Mayhew? Like, does that sound like Peter Mayhew, on set? I mean, I know Peter Mayhew went back and in ADR redid his growls. Everybody knows that.
Well, with the British accent, knowledge. It sounds more like in the movie, but that's what the American accent is.
Thank you, Nerd Mafia, for the super chat. I appreciate it, man. What do you call it? Yeah. So I mean,
nailed it.
Today, I have to say, like, with 4 Star Wars movies on the table right now, we got four movies on the table, right? Something will probably not get made. I mean, I think that this is probably just basic Hollywood math at the end of the day, not franchise math. It's bad for the franchise, but probably I'm going to say about 25% of movies definitely fall apart and just don't get made that are started in some way that are intended to happen. And Lucasfilm has weird problems at times, but then also has a commitment, I think, to quality and going over budget. And so with those two things right there, I think there's a good chance that one of them won't happen. So, at the end of the day, if you were to take one of the 4 and place your bets on which one won't happen, I think you'll likely be one. Some of us will be right because I think one of them won't happen. It'd be cool if they all. I'm pulling for them. I want them all to happen. And right now, I would, just because of where things are at, even though Taika's movie is the furthest along, we know that it's hit snags. Sometimes those snags, you can't get over them. And James Mangold,
the third,
and yeah, and he hasn't written anything. Oh, wait, Bespin's asking. Oh, okay, sorry, Bespin, I didn't see the fucking thing, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you right now. And if you guys, if this show's going long, so if anybody needs to take off, don't feel like you have to stay because you started the show. I hope you do stick around, but you don't have to, because I want to hear what Mr. Bespin has to say about all this stuff, like in person from his own, with his own
Someone's got
words.
A question for me though, Jason. Someone's got a question for me. Rob, you can settle our household argument. Wasn't the Bowtie Killer and Ruthless People Kramer from Seinfeld? If you remember that movie. Only movie I remember where Kramer played a Bowtie Killer was in Problem Child.
Yes.
Ruthless People was
Problem Child
86, right? That's too early.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no. Kramer is the Bowtie Killer in Problem Child 1.
Right.
Not Problem Child. That's the one where he gets his sister.
Movie. The first I ever saw Michael Richards in a movie was UHF, which was 87, 88.
Yeah.
I don't think he was in Ruthless People.
And
no,
I don't think he's
DeVito, in right?
That's the Danny DeVito film.
Ruthless People? I only saw that on HBO back in the day. So
yeah, I rented it. A few times.
I used to get it confused with Down and Out in Beverly Hills or like those movies, And then it would be. I mean, where's Ben Miller showing up? And it wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't be in there. I'd be mad. Like
actually, it's funny you said that because right now I cannot take those two movies apart in my mind. They have become the same movie. Down and Out in Beverly Hills.
And Down and Beverly,
Down and Out in Beverly Hills is the one where you have what's his name, and he's like. A homeless guy who Nick Nolte's a homeless guy who ends up like for some reason having to live in high society. It's like
in
like
Beverly Elon Hills.
Musk. Like Elon Musk. Yeah.
Yeah, just like Auteur.
Nerd Mafia says he was also a merchant marine in Airheads.
Yeah, that's the movie that like I never wanted to like, but when it comes on, you're like, it's not bad. It's not horrible. It's fucking killer compared to the like fucking It's Pat and all those other movies that were coming out at the time, right? But it's no. I mean, it's even keel with Empire Records, but I mean, it's no Dazed and Confused, right? So,
man,
now it's got Republican goat boy in that fucking movie. So who the fuck gives a shit, right?
Empire Records when it came out, like how tropey it was at the time, I fucking hated it. Now I don't mind it. Now I'm a little bit like, oh, the movie's innocent. But at the time, it drove me fucking crazy. I hated that movie when it came out. Like I despised it. But all right, we got Bespin Bulletino.
Well, it took you long enough.
He's live from Italy. Bespin Bulletino, are you there?
I'm here. I'm sweating my tits off, but I'm here.
Oh shit!
With the
after
F, with the capital F.
Capital F, yeah.
That's
my phone doing that on autocorrect because the rest of the Lucasfilms were fine. I knew what he was on about before I even looked at the fucking show.
Okay. All right.
But it's probably
I
had to do a lot very last minute.
Yeah, no, I know that you don't do that, and that's why when I saw it, I was like, I'm gonna attack.
Yeah.
I see your weakness now.
I knew that there was an F in there somewhere. I knew it fucked it up. I knew all the correct happening. It's probably shambles. I haven't read the article since I edited it all. So if you got through it, you got through it. I got through it. I honestly, not too bad. Not like too shabby. Like there was no like broken things where I was just like I had to stop and like get confused about what you meant or anything like that. So considering that at first, like when you went to the first source, you sent me the dates. I woke up with the dates from you. You texted me, and then they were wrong. Like they all said, they were like all the same month. Say that it removed the Star Wars date.
Yeah.
So it's like new dates added, and it was like the 2026 movies, but it didn't also include 2027. So like, I don't really know what was going on.
Yeah.
So once I realized the error, once they updated their own articles, I was like, oh, okay. So, and at that point, I was already in the middle of writing my speculation and theory or whatever.
Right. Yeah. As I was reading it, not because you did anything wrong, but like when you're like December, and it's like years, I'm just like, I don't remember which one we're talking about now. So it's like, it was like too weird.
Bespin, so there's 2 movies coming out in 2026?
Yeah.
Rob wasn't wrong. He got it right for once in his life. Right?
Until they all get canceled. And Rob's wrong again. Enjoy it, Rob. Enjoy it for now.
Then he'll come back on. We'll get another round of that song, right?
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. It's fair enough.
Yeah. No, but to be fair, the original like layout that we had for that when we were debating it literally mirrored 100% the Last Jedi to Solo instead of inverting it. By inverting it, you get a couple of extra months in there between the movies, so I can see why they're testing it, and that's what makes me think that the second film is related to the Mando stuff for sure. Like as the trades have been hinting at for the last couple of months, because I think that's one that sort of promotes itself and already has if the second film is Filoni's film,
December 26th.
That would make making the most sense. That if that one would like be super huge, it's already bringing in the audience. But then if when they do go after that with another movie, it's fine because it's going to be like an original premise. So,
like I said at the bottom of it, I think with the Mandalorian success and Boba Fett is like their second most watched show. I think the people who are all in the Mandoverse stuff, like they'll go and see it. And I know it's different. It's not a TV series. It's not a streaming movie, but they promote the Mandalorian and those shows like much closer to release. Yeah. So if you start peddling it out, I don't know, a trailer in July, August, 4 months out from the release date, it's not that bad. Like a Solo, you would put out the first official trailer in February for the movie that comes out in May. Like, he didn't start any marketing, any promotion.
Great.
So, and I think that's the difference. Nice. Solo. Like, that's the thing. People like this whole Solo 2 happen movement thing. People always forget. Like, when that movie was announced, people were saying, like, why are we having this movie? They did the same thing to Andor. Like, and that was phenomenal. But like, they were complaining about, why do we need this?
Yeah.
When The Mandalorian, it does well, goes over well. People seem to enjoy it.
I kind of
Lucas buys back Star Wars, Bespin, will he make Solo 2 first?
No,
and will he make him like a little
the-
kid? Will he
to,
go
like,
back
write
to his
the movie.
initial design where he was a little kid? Will he do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think when he gets Zack Snyder to direct it, he'll give fans what they want.
I get nervous with that.
I like this.
The actual idea of doing 2 seasons though of a show before that movie makes me nervous for that movie, because think about like Book of Boba Fett, a little bit rocky in terms of like being in that general everybody's pleased kind of thing. It didn't really please everyone. It was big, but it didn't please everyone. It was a big dick and it came fast, and so nobody didn't do it for everyone. And then you end up with Mando 3, which I'm gonna say is now accepted to be the worst season of The Mandalorian so far.
Yeah.
And I think that is the like consensus on it. And so if you do another bad season of The Mandalorian, and nobody knows if Ahsoka is like actually going to be a home run. Nobody knows. It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't come out yet. And then so like you get more of these shows, you're like, well, fuck. Like, what if those shows like tank? What if those shows don't do well? What if those shows suck?
But The Mandalorian season 3, even though it wasn't like very good amongst fans, like it was regarded as the worst out of the 3. It still did well. Like, by the end, it did outpace Mando season 2.
Right.
Like initially it was lower, right? But like by the end, it outdone it.
Yeah.
So if you get all those people to go to the movie,
Transformers 2 did more than Transformers 1, so it's the better movie.
Well, it's why
like that's how the Transformers movies made
it's why they still exist, Rob. That's his point. Yeah.
I know. I'm learning my lesson.
They can be said, but yeah, I don't know. I think even with Mando 4, like the last season of it took a year at the end of production to come out. So we had it finished in March 2022, came out in March 2023. Like, so if we get Mando in, I don't know, early 2025, we'll still have like enough time for people to move on from it or forgive it. And obviously we don't know this, but at the end of season 3, like Favreau sort of set up that it was going back to the stuff of season 1 was just bounty hunting and Grogu, and then obviously it'll tie in more to the wider events, but it's just sort of a safe play, I suppose. And like I'm with you, like we go back and forth on this all the time. Like I don't think there needs to be a second season of Ahsoka just based off of what we know about Ahsoka. Yeah. But if the trades are saying they're considering it, then they're considering it, like from their sources, like Lucasfilm or Disney or whatever. So
yeah.
I don't think we should get those things. I'd rather like build anticipation for the film, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
You've gone without Mando for a year or anything in that universe for a year, and you go and see the movie. Like you've got people waiting. You've got people excited.
Like if we got like really fucking great seasons of the show leading up into a movie, and then the movie's great, like it's gonna be the coolest thing that's ever happened. Like with Star Wars, it'd be one of the most fun times to be into this, like big time. But my fear is that they overextend the Favreau Filoni, ability to create quality content while making a film, and that those shows just become like, that the shows become the equivalent of the books that we get before the movies come out. Like the movie's coming out, like most of I know Rob's gonna say Catalyst was actually pretty good. And Catalyst was pretty good before Rogue One.
I didn't have to because you did it for me.
Because I knew you were going to do it because we're a married couple and I know what you're going to say before you say it now. But no. But
you heard that breath I was taking.
With the exception of Catalyst, most of the times, like I don't remember what was like Alphabet Squadron book or whatever the fuck it was. It's like they just don't really matter. They don't really add anything. Like the episode 9 book the book that came out before episode 9. I read that shit. I don't remember anything about it because it was so like unfulfilling. And so
Well,
I would be
give Santa a bunch of shows if they don't release those books right before the movie. You know?
Oh,
Like,
he's still fighting with James Luceno in 2007 or 12 or something like that. 2012. So he's good. He's got.
I like when he goes and in Aftermath, and then I go, oh, hold on, I gotta make a pot of coffee. Let me go. This is my favorite. And then in Bloodlines.
Yeah, Aftermath sucks. It's like, what was that, Sweezy?
I'm saying best bet if we get Mando 4 in early 2025. That's still basically 2 years until we get the movie. I think we need something before then too. Like
but the trade with the THR was claiming that we might get a second season of Ahsoka, which they had said
you're gonna get Bad
greenlit.
Batch seasons 4, 5, and 6. You'll be covered. Don't worry about it.
But if you get two Star Wars shows in 2025 at least, right? Like if you just get Mando 4, Ahsoka 2, like that can pan out a lot of
Skeleton Crew 2 could happen, and because we don't have any assurances that Skeleton Crew actually like that the children will be a part of the movie, and that
we don't know how Skeleton Crew ends. Like we don't know.
Yeah, so there might be so they would have Acolyte 2. They could have the Skeleton Crew 2.
Acolyte 2 would be pretty. I wouldn't expect it in 2025. I'd expect it later.
I mean, in production would probably be filming at that time. That's what I'm saying. Is that like what would be coming, and most likely I think Skeleton Crew 2 and Acolyte 2 are as likely as Ahsoka 2.
Yeah, but you got to remember as well, Chris. Like these things are like they're pretty fast turnarounds on them. Like they need about 6 weeks in pre-production rather than 3 months in comparison to something at Pinewood, if longer. And then the post-production on them doesn't take as long. And if they actually take their time and make a quality product like they did with Mando's 3 VFX, they'll take a year to put it out. But if they didn't want to, they could just do what they did with Boba Fett and Kenobi and rush it within 6 months, which is what me and Jason have been theorizing they will do with certain shows based off of the writer strike and the delays in filming, just so they can pad out their own like Disney Plus schedules.
Yeah.
But you can't have it both ways, right? You can't sit there and say on one hand, Disney and Lucasfilm, Marvel, they're putting out too much content, and then when they scale back, saying, "But what are you going to do now?"
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Rob, all I'm saying is we have no Star Wars content for 2025. I'm saying that's going to change.
Yeah, it will change. Like, and the thing is,
we already did the math. Like when you just shove things around, one of the things currently in production will get shoved down the way, and you're going to end up with one or two things. I'm telling you, I think Andor's more of a 2025 deal. You know, like
my theory again, it's just a fun little theory. Like they could split into two. They could just be like, here's the first 6, put it out in August, September as planned.
Right.
About the former 6 in like say the February. You know, that might also qualify them for 2 different like award seasons as well.
Remember when there was no Stranger Things for like 3 years, and then everyone's like, no one's gonna watch the show. There's tons of other stuff. No one cares about Stranger Things anymore. And then it was the highest thing on the internet. Like, sometimes going away it helps you more than being right in their face. Even if you aren't really right in your face, if people are perceived it's always out there, that's a little bit worse than if it actually is. So removing the perception that it's always available is better for them.
Well, you're going away for 7 years, Rob. There hasn't been a Star Wars movie in 7 years by the time the new one comes out.
But we've had many.
I know. I've been on the show for 2 fucking years complaining about it. Spreezy. I don't know if you've been listening.
Every day.
It's a real problem. But you know, like, and it may be 8. You keep talking. Kathy might just be like, "Well, fucking that guy got to open his mouth up." Just boom, another year. Come on, say something.
Kathy again is like, I'm 72 years old. I'm slowing down, and so is Star Wars. Like, oh man,
say something, Australia. Come on.
And don't be mad at me that I've seen Flash, Rob. You're gonna watch it in 2 days. 2 days.
You've seen it already?
Yeah, I saw it tonight.
Any good?
He didn't like it.
Oh.
He didn't like it.
No.
I don't know when it's out for me. I think it might be out tomorrow. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Did you like Spider-Man No Way Home?
Yeah, of course.
How would you say it fares in comparison? There's obviously like some similarities between the 2 movies in terms of like the ideas in them and what they do.
There's a lot of multiverse parallels. But...
Bringing back the old superhero from a beloved movies and stuff like that. Yeah. So did you like Spider-Man a lot more than this?
You know what? I like Mario more than Spider-Man, so I don't think I'm the right man to judge.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Look, I'll be honest. I watched it on IMAX, and it made me feel a bit dizzy with the 3D and all that. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than The Flash.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, oh well. So were you weren't like a Michael Keaton Batman kid though, right?
No, I was Christian Bale.
Yeah. So that right there, that might be the fucking difference. Might be. I don't know. Might have lost a lot of its charm on you with that. With
But like, I was pumped to see him. Like, I've obviously seen the original Batman. Like,
how bad
Right.
is the CGI?
sorry,
How bad is the CGI?
pretty bad, especially the final battle. The final battle is terrible.
Really?
Terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me like when they talked about what the budget on that movie is with what Bestman was
190.
telling me. Yeah, 190 million. So let's just run it up to 200. And it had reshoots, which they are trying to act
Many
like weren't reshoots. Yeah, which is what they're trying to act like they weren't, but they were. And so you end up with like all of that, and you're like, how did they save the money? And clearly, the post production, they just
I think you don't notice it like in other films because the battle's always at night, but they made this final battle during the day, and you could really spot some, some.
You can see it in some of the trailers and the TV spots. Like,
Yeah.
I was hoping they'd improve it by the time we get to the movie. The stuff at the prison and then the final battle with Zod, like they all looked a bit sketchy.
Wonky. Yeah. Definitely.
poor dude right here. Sam says the kids saw Mario without me. Still haven't seen it. Honestly, I would see it if you love the video games and like you always wanted to see it, like just to like do that life checkbox. It's not a really great movie. It's great for like if you really like Mario, then you have a great time. But yeah, it's I enjoyed myself watching it though. I had a great time watching it. So like it was fun. It's just like something can be fun and dumb at the same time. And it's a well-made Mario movie. It's not a well-made movie though, or not a good movie. I should say on its own merits. Yeah,
I haven't seen the show, but I'm like rereading my articles I'm on it. I guarantee you, Jason picked up where I said that on paper, the Taika movie seems further along, like to be the 2027 instead of Mangoes. I guarantee you, he complained about that, right? That's what shit around. Yeah.
Oh, I switched that shit right around. I said, you are overlooking the fact that he got Indiana Jones made. He got Indiana Jones made, and
you were overlooking the fact that Taika Waititi got Rita Ora and Tessa Thompson on the same night.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. That's pretty fucking cool.
That's a bigger feat, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it took him 40 years to get there.
Do
this shit
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He got there.
Like,
he got there in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So timetables, buddy. We're talking about timetables.
Something tells me though, like if you like, so like Taika's got that going on, right? But like with Mangold, like he's like typing at the computer, camera pans down, and he's got a human at his feet. That's human furniture that is resting his feet on while he writes the script. So I think things are coming out from just different angles, maybe. Because
how did you know? I was just talking to Joe about that. It's weird, right? It's weird.
If I was guessing, it would be Mangold's movie, even though, like I said, on paper it looks like Taika's is further along. Like, I'm not saying it is, but from what they're telling us and like the trades, it is.
I'm gonna beat them all though.
The actual question is though, is that like they've admitted there's a complication with the Taika story script moving forward. Like how crucial is that thing? Like sometimes there's something that seems like a great premise and then it can't actually be executed in reality. Like sometimes
John
there are
fix it.
You know what I mean?
He could write a whole trilogy. He won't let him know, but he could do it. It'd be done like
sometimes Dave, sometimes you sit down and you go, I'm gonna write a song like Bohemian Rhapsody, and then you write it and you're doing it. And then you get to the opera section and you can't do it. It doesn't work.
I wrote it. It's called Bohemian Grove. It's the best song in the world.
No.
Yeah. Is Avatar 2029 now?
Yeah, it's really far away.
Well, I think we know for sure that he's doing the Star Wars movie before Swamp Thing. I mean, they've made that pretty clear in trades.
Yeah. Do you know what the dates are, Rob, for Avatar, or did you just say fuck?
2029 and 2031.
Right, so it's 2029. If Taika's movie doesn't come out 2027, that's like he would have been working on that shit for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the point? Like,
yeah,
come on.
No, I like based off of what they said. Number one, I think Taika will do his movie. I think it will happen. I think when it's ready, they'll just work out how to make it happen. I think everybody is so enamored with him. His charm will somehow get it in there. You know, he'll take Tessa Thompson, Kathleen Kennedy away on a weekend together, and he'll come back and the movie will be greenlit.
You ruined it. You ruined it.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you know what? That's how you make it in Hollywood, baby. That's how you make it in Hollywood. No, but I'm joking. But it's. I think that his movie is definitely definitely going to happen at some point. And I think if he can't get over it and he has this idea and it's good, I think at a certain point, if the idea is that good, he probably gives it to Lucasfilm and steps away and becomes an executive producer, and then somebody else comes in to take over the concept.
Sort of tell
the Skeleton Crew guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bestman. Go ahead.
What we can sort of tell about Taika's movie is obviously he had over 2 years on it when he was doing it with Wilson Carnes, right?
Yeah.
So, and then Kathy this year said that he's now writing it on his own. We knew last year, right, that he was going to submit his script by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that he submitted it. It didn't not go over well, but they had like revisions. They were wanting to change things. He's now doing that process on his own. It could be a full rewrite for all we know.
Yeah,
but he's at a position where like he's trying to figure out the second act for the third or whatever. He's still further along on paper than Mangold is. He's the trades and everything. The people close to him are saying he wants to shoot this thing next year. That's very unlikely considering his schedule, Clara and the Sun, the rest of it. But he's still hopeful of getting that shot soon. Mangold, he's going to be shooting. I can't remember the name of the Bob Dylan film.
The Bob Dylan film.
Yeah, like from August. Like that film.
I wanted to ask you. Yeah,
is that called Chillin' for Dylan?
Chillin' for Dylan. Yeah. Do we know if it's written or if it's not, or was like in your article was that just like an assumption that it might be a problem, it might be a snag, or is that something that you read?
I think that it is written. He's been working on it for like a year, if not longer. But the problem would be the problem that Favreau has.
Yeah.
Stage direction, change in dialogue, cutting over time, blah blah blah. That's the issue, because he's a writer on the movie, not just a director. Yeah. So that's the problem with if he can start it in August or not, and then say about 3 months to film it. Then so he won't probably get to work on his Star Wars movie until next year, because something's like Mando was supposed to start in late September, early October. That's getting delayed for filming. Nothing's getting shot in August.
Yeah,
like that film's going to go back to at least sometime in the fall, you'd imagine.
Yeah.
So that postpones his time. But I don't know. Like I think Mangold will somehow come first. But if you just look at like what everything we've been told about Taika, he should be first.
Well, and another thing too, though, is when I haven't read a Taika script. Actually, I probably should. It would be interesting. But I've never read a Taika script. But whenever you read a comedy script, they can be meticulous, like word for word, beat for beat, or it can be like a bunch of implication about what's going to be funny and like where that's going to go. And then you can see, like, I think the Lego guys, for instance, are on that, or more on that page of things, and then they find it. Well. And Star Wars doesn't work that way, as we can see with the Lego guys.
But Marvel should give the Lego guys a permanent deal.
Mm-hmm.
But
you know what I'm saying? Like,
they should give the Lego guys another Star Wars movie.
Because when they say multiverse movies won't work, they suck, no one wants it, and then a multiverse film wins the Oscar, and fucking Across from the Spider-Verse comes out, works just fine. It's like, no, you just got to get people that fucking get it, and not. Apparently, the people in charge don't get it. Like even as much as like Holdren, I'm a fan of. Even he was like, I didn't really get it when he wrote Doctor Strange. I didn't really understand it. I'm like the Rick and Morty thing. It's a different tangent, but like the Rick and Morty thing, like I think it makes people look smarter than they are because it's all like rando, but it's not complex. It's when you got I'm just gonna tell you, when you got 12 dudes in a room making rando joke, you get the show. You know, like
Yeah. Well, that style of comedy too has like a little bit like if you know if you're on the inside, and if you're not, so if you feel inadequate in any way, then you think like, oh, there's things I don't understand, and then they seem smart, and then they're really just a bunch of nerds. But I mean,
the hard way though, right? With these Rick and Morty writers, specifically like Jeff Loveness, like he was supposed to do.
He's off there.
It was a Kang Dynasty. He was supposed to write.
Wars. Yeah, he's off.
Wars.
Yeah,
no, King Dynasty. Yeah, King Dynasty.
Yeah, he got kicked off that. Like, and Marvel, like that's been their thing recently. Is they're bringing in more experienced and quote talented writers to come in and rewrite their project.
Did you listen to Loveness's interview with Jeff Goldsmith on Quantumania? Yeah, I mean, like Loveness seems like a nice dude, but I could tell just by the interview, I'm like, they're gonna cut him. Like if you listen to it, you'll know what I mean. Like they're gonna. There's no way.
What if like the
trained by a year, so they're obviously gonna look for a new writer.
I think the Thunderbolts are supposed to start production in July. Yeah, like, and they brought on the Beef writer to rewrite it, and so now that's been delayed like a year, right?
Yeah, 5 months. 5 months.
5 months. That's
that's not because of writing. That's because of production. Like,
and then King Dynasty is the movie that's releasing with the Star Wars one, right?
Kang Dynasty, didn't they delay that already once?
Yeah, so it's May 20.
And yeah, so like if that movie's star has the issues that he's having, if that's not resolved, if that's not cleared up, is that just a tentative date they're just throwing at the wall?
Oh, they're going to recast him. They're going to recast. Okay.
Well, in one way, it's a blessing for them, right? Like to have more time for the Jonathan Majors issues to play out. Like when he goes to court, whatever happens. Like if he's found innocent or guilty, they'll probably then make their decision on where they go going
forward.
Court of law.
But, court of law, not the court of public opinion. The court of law.
Yeah. So we'll see. But like, if they just fire him, and if he is found innocent, for example, they just fire him. Can he like take legal action against them? You know, like in football, I don't know if Chris watches football, but like, if Manchester United like fired a player like randomly, we have to give him like a payoff, otherwise he can sue them.
Pay or play, or pay.
It probably though. I don't know for sure. I would think he would have grounds for a lawsuit, but at the same time, the code of conduct policy that they have, and that he probably signed into, is probably so fucking insane that it would like get tied up in court forever and not really be something you would fight
for this. Like when they fired Kevin Spacey off that movie and replaced him with Christopher Plummer, like Spacey could have sued, but he would have just lost. Like there's plenty of precedent for this sort of thing.
Yeah,
you know.
But what you would have is you would have a story if he's innocent. I don't know if he's innocent or guilty. I don't follow it. But if he's innocent, you'd have a story of a black man being put into a media story for something that he didn't do, dragged through the mud, losing his career, and it was Disney's fault who fired him. So I think Disney has every single reason to let it play out in the court of law, and then make their decision based off of, not on, because like the James Gunn thing, that was fucking stupid. It was really old fucking shit he said 15 years ago or something or whatever, and then they fire him only to bring him back. Like,
and you look at the flip side, you look at Warner Brothers with Ezra, you know, like there's videos of what he was doing, and they kept him going. He was making nice comments last night at the Flash premiere, you know, thanking DC and David Zaslav and James Gunn for standing by him. You know,
but what if he showed up in that outfit Jim Carrey wore at the insane asylum in Pet Detective? Like, what if he was just running around like a Tooth Fairy outfit, just doing cartwheels? You know, like wearing Doc Martens. Like, wouldn't you be respected him even more? Like,
listen,
them, whatever.
Yeah, I look at it like the Mason Greenwood situation. Like, he went to court.
Right. He didn't go to court.
It's like, do Man United still want to use him, like put him as in the team? Because the public.
Yeah, but that's where I was going with it. Is that situation? It is that he was accused of something. We literally heard and saw things with that in regards to that case. The case was dropped because the key witnesses dropped out, and he and would no longer cooperate in. He also had the victim, she became pregnant as well. So it's not the same situation. Man United, like, they aren't in a position to fire him because they would have to pay him £20 million if they did. Because in the eyes of the law, he is innocent.
In the law,
so what you're saying,
in public opinion, it doesn't look good. That's
in public opinion, no. That's why you should just like loan him out for 2 years.
Yeah.
What you're saying is this is the basis for Ted Lasso season 4. Right? Like, I got ourselves a story. I think we got ourselves a story.
Ted Lasso gets dark.
Yeah.
But yeah. Jonesy wants to know which Star Wars TV series or movie each of you are most looking forward to.
Can't wait for Bad Batch, dude. Like, you know. Like,
yeah, Bad Batch. Definitely Bad Batch.
Come on, man.
Bad Batch. Season 3.
Right.
So
Jason wants. Let me guess. Jason, I'm gonna say Skeleton Crew.
Yes.
Bespin, I'm gonna say Ahsoka.
No.
It's not Ahsoka.
Acolyte?
No.
No, okay, I don't fucking know.
Andor 2's too safe. So on Skeleton. Okay. If you say Andor 2, too safe.
Okay.
You can't say Andor 2.
And I'm gonna say Spreezy's Ahsoka.
No.
Breeze's Acolyte. It's the white robe.
White Jedi robes, man. Come on.
Get with it.
You don't want my TV show? Ooh, you on a list. I don't like
Oh
you.
no.
I don't like you.
Filoni's list.
Hiss.
Hiss.
You made him mad, dude. You broke his heart. What are you doing?
We're
all waiting for Andor season 2 now. You know?
No, we're not allowed to. You're not allowed to pick Andor season 2. That's the caveat. I just made that up.
I can't.
No,
Vision
you can't.
season 3.
Okay, that's fair. That's I mean, that's still a Star Wars TV series, so you know,
it's the one I know I'm gonna love. I know I'm gonna
it's within Jonesy's wheelhouse here for the question. So but I mean, it's if everything goes according to plan, it's a lot of content and not too long of a time. A lot of stuff to like look forward to. A lot of stuff to go into production that we'll be talking about and stuff. So the future sounds good today.
Yeah.
You think that in 2026, just because they have 2 films coming out, they don't give us TV series just for oversaturation?
I think they will still do the shows. That's why I think like something will go into production. I just don't think they'll be putting all like that's why I think like Acolyte and like Skeleton Crew are like likely just to get sequels for like around that time, because you still need to have the offerings on Disney Plus. And now those movies hitting Disney Plus would work, but they're doing that whole thing where they're giving like the 3 months, right? At least before it hits, like you can even rent it, right? Is that
6 now?
So 6 now? So okay, that means so unless they want to get out of Disney Plus, which I don't think they do, they're going to need to have Star Wars offerings. They just don't need to have 9 of them. Yeah.
You can do the Rangers. I actually think the movie's closer to being a Rangers movie when you think about it, you know. But I mean, Skeleton Crew season 2, you know, that's the thing you could put out that doesn't affect the movies. You know?
I mean, I don't think this is happening, but it would not surprise me if when you got down to it, like because the Rangers was always supposed to be a bunch of disparate characters from the Mandalorian universe that were united across a front. That's what I had heard it was. And so when you get down to that, like we always tend to think in terms of the Avengers of it being 4 or whatever, but there's a good chance or somewhat of a chance that the Rangers thing wasn't all X-Wing pilots doing cop stuff all the time. And that there was this other component. That other component might be that movie that tends to follow the Avengers model. And so we might have fucking Luke Skywalker and Cobb Vanth and Boba and Mando and all this stuff in this like elite fucking team of people that are going to fight against Thrawn. And maybe they will be the Rangers of the New Republic. Like that very well might be the fucking title when all is said and done. Because we've seen movies become TV show content, like move into that realm. We've seen like them say, and then we've seen them say like Rogue Squadron might become a TV show. Well, why can't it go the other way? it might be able to go the other way. And I'm of the opinion that Gina Carano was not a major star in Rangers of the New Republic, that she was in it, that she would have been in it, but she was not the lead, that she was simply fucking in it. And people want to hold on to that thing. But I think it was largely shelved because of the perception of the false rumor that she was the lead, and which became then now when she wasn't there, then it would become a politically divisive show, and the show would.
And then
just
some elements of that got absorbed into Mando 3 and other shows.
Just fucking started moving shit around, yeah. And then like so
what about RoboCop?
Cobb Vanth, yeah, like
Freetown.
He should be, he would be great he'd be good in the film.
Yeah, he'll be in the movie. Yeah, he'll be.
Yeah.
If I had my way, if I could put anything into production, I know you're going to say it's really hypocritical of me to say it, but I would just get that old Daniel Logan and do that fucking Boba Fett bit where he's younger,
Yeah.
And actually make like a little John Wick fucking action oriented thing that's less on necessary lore and more like just badass fucking bounty hunter fucking adventures to fill in some of the little bit of filler, a little bit of just pure action.
Yeah, I would. I mean, yeah, my dream, like Book of Boba Fett season 2 kind of thing, would move more into an anthology kind of thing with Boba, with different things through his, like the Young Rock.
Can I give a spoiler for the Flash? Like a small spoiler.
I think we've spoiled the Flash.
Yeah, we've already spoiled the whole thing. We outlined the whole movie before.
So you know about the Boba Fett cameo?
No.
Oh, there's a Boba Fett cameo in the Flash.
What do you mean?
There's a Boba Fett cameo in the Flash.
Yeah,
you
Boba Fett's in it.
You mean Tamara Morrison or Boba Fett himself?
The actor.
Yeah.
You're calling. Did I see a face or a helmet? I can't remember.
I'm like, does he run so fucking fast? He runs through the set in El Segundo, and we see Boba Fett there, and then he keeps going.
Anytime he talks, I just see the helmet. Did I see the helmet?
Huh. So and that he's Aquaman's daddy, right? Okay. So Aquaman's daddy. What?
You know, I don't know if they changed this, but not the end of the movie. You don't have to say it if these pair don't want to know it. A Batman comes out of the car, right?
Yes.
And Ezra shouts, "What the fuck?"
Yes.
Do they show that Batman's face?
Yeah, no. It's who the fuck? Who the
fuck? Right. Do they show his face now or no?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
They do.
Yeah.
Is it who I think it is?
Who do you think it is?
Rob made a reference to him earlier.
I wasn't paying attention.
Wait, who is it? Just say it.
It's Clooney. It's Clooney.
This is a spoiler show. Is it Clooney?
It is, yeah.
It is Clooney.
They do show his face now. Yeah.
They do, yeah, they do.
Because in the other version they were showing, he just gets out of the car and they says, "Who the fuck are you?" or whatever, and then.
No, they have a convo, like a brief conversation. That they start off with these shoes, and then like everyone's like in front of him, and you can't see who he is.
Is it normal head Clooney or bobblehead Clooney? Because you got to go back to 1999 to get that authentic bobblehead Clooney, right?
Yeah, bobblehead.
Oh, when he had that
pull
fucking
the bobble back out.
Yeah, the people forgot that Clooney cut was like the male version of the Jennifer Aniston Friends haircut. Remember that? All those girls were getting.
Is that why you cut your hair?
Did
you get the Clooney?
You got the Clooney. You got the Clooney.
He's loony for Clooney.
He's Chris Clooney. Chris Clooney.
I got to say the post-credit scene is probably one of the worst post-credit scenes I've ever seen in my life.
I can't wait to see this movie tomorrow. Does
Ezra Miller run so fast he becomes Will Smith's son?
Yes.
Yeah, like from the post-credit scene, I think that I read. It doesn't sound great. It's just a gag, right?
Yeah, it's stupid. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's just.
Do they deep fake Jonathan Taylor Thomas and bring him back too? Like
no,
little Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
They do CGI a lot of cameos.
What?
Do we see Clooney's nipples?
Did he have bat nipples?
Yes.
All right. So we got a lot of spoilers on this show today. We got some Clooney titties.
Do we see Michael Goff's Alfred make the nipples for Batgirl suit in Batman and Robin? Did we see
Oh, that was deleted scene. No, we didn't see that.
Oh,
yet.
okay. Man,
Is
this
Clueless in
what
it?
I'm on?
Does Clueless show up as Batgirl?
No.
Stupid. I'm kidding. It's fine. I'm fine with never seeing that again. But well, I have we done it, guys? Have we done it all?
2.5 hours. Yeah, it's good.
We did enough shows. We don't have to do a show tomorrow. We don't have to get into the Embracer group, like completely buying everything up and then tanking.
You've still got that Idris article. You can save that for tomorrow.
Oh, there is that.
Pad out the week, you know.
Is that up on investmentbulletin.com right now?
It is, yeah.
All right. Yeah, so tomorrow I will hit that. If Rob's burned out, Rob, you can take the day off, Rob. But we got some hard-hitting Star Wars scoops fresh off the press that are completely accurate.
Harloff talked about this. Is how new could it possibly be?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
What?
why don't you go hang out with Harloff tomorrow then? But
yeah, he's dying for that. Yeah, sure.
But no, I mean, there's just like those things that are going around, and they're going to persist, and everyone's thirsty, hungry, horny for everybody's horny for fucking scoops, and there's nothing going on. So there's not really anything. Nobody's writing. Nobody's making any movies. There's nothing. And anything you read is probably going to be 100% fake. Almost.
Who would believe that Kim Kardashian's really Mara Jade? Like, who would believe that?
Oh well, that's
Pete
actually
Davidson believes it.
That's actually true. Yeah, that was actually true. Yeah.
And by the way, he prefers to be called Mirage now, so you know.
But the actual difference is she was up for Mara, she didn't get it, and now Peg Bundy is Mara Jade in the movie. Yeah, same Peg Bundy wig and everything. And then
Lost's Peg Bundy.
I gotta say, old Mark Hamill does have some Bundy qualities, doesn't he? He does have a little bit of the kind of to him. He could play a alternate dimension Al Bundy, I would say. So it's possible. Just you can't take it off the table. All right, guys. We'll I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know if Rob will. I think he's had enough of us. But we'll be back tomorrow talking about that story, whatever's going on the old internet.
And the Embracer group.
Yeah, and I don't know what the Embracer group is. I saw what you said, and I was like, I don't understand this. I'll ask you.
They own a bunch of studios. They bought a bunch. KOTOR is under that publisher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so does that mean KOTOR is dead?
Doesn't mean it's dead, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, it already wasn't looking good, was it? So let's just say it's dead then. Probably dead.
They were waiting for a deal to go through, right? A multi-billion deal. It collapsed last minute, and now shit has hit the fan, basically, for them.
Oh,
so
okay,
not great.
Yeah. Well, so maybe somebody else gets the KOTOR game again. Maybe it moves again, or I think it's just time to just fucking leave it alone. You know, who cares now? It's deflated.
Clips?
What did you say?
Eclipse. The game.
I thought you asked me about my lips.
Yeah, you have very succulent lips. Can you show them to us? Can you lick your phone camera for Spreezy?
All I see is the plant from My Little Shop of Horrors. Right?
Kiss me some
succulent lips.
That's been quiet, right? The clip. They were supposed to be 2025, 2026. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. I ran the trailer last year, and then nothing ever happens again.
Well, even that was like a bit of a con, right? From what we understand.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I kind of still suspect it'll get cancelled. And let's be honest, we don't need it. Like, Respawn are working on 2 games. We got the Outlaw game. You know, there's a Survivor sequel as well. So we've got enough Star Wars games coming out. Like, we've exited the Star Wars drought in gaming, I think.
Yeah.
Like, if we just get one a year, that's enough, I think, for the time being. Considering we were going every 2. So
yeah.
So yeah, I don't think we need Eclipse, and I'm really tired of the controversy around every single fucking Star Wars product. Lucasfilm did not help themselves this time, obviously, by working with David Cage. but just move on. You know?
Yeah.
Like the Leslie Headland thing is tiring. Like everything is tiring in this fandom at times. So
Yeah.
3 more
I
years.
don't like it when women say George Lucas.
Me either. Thank you for finally speaking up for me, saying what we're all thinking. You know?
All you women keep the Lucas out of your mouth. Say nothing about it.
Yeah. You
No
don't
woke
you,
in my Star Wars.
Yeah, you be quiet. You be quiet. You don't talk about George Lucas on the Star Wars show because I
He
brought
let
it
a
up.
lobster save the galaxy once. Not woke.
And then
There's only a
Leslie
Red
Headland's like,
Lobster.
actually, he didn't create Edward Scissorpunch or whatever the fuck that guy's name was. And you're like, here we go again. All right, everybody. All right, we're gonna go. Thanks for stopping by Bespin. Good to hang out with you, Spreezy. And I'll see you tomorrow, Rob. I'll see you tomorrow.
We wouldn't have jizz if it wasn't for Lucas.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go.
It's not about spaceships.